Welcome to the Superhero Cinephiles podcast. I'm your host, Perry Constantine. And, usually we talk about individual movies, but from time to time we do special little topic episodes. And this one is kind of a mix of both. We're going to be talking about the entire DCEU, now it's finally completed with the release of Aquaman, The Lost Kingdom. And for that, I wanted to bring on someone who I know has got some different opinions than I do on this. And for that, I brought in Justin De Voe. Justin, how you doing today?
What's up, man? Dude, I've been hearing you on Anthony's show for so long, and I have a tendency to skip around. Not because it's not like you have to listen to him in any order anyway, unless he's doing the crisis stuff. But usually I look for Dr. Bill's and stuff. I look for yours. And it's not saying I don't like the rest of the guests, but some people just have more energy for shit like this. Mm-hmm. So yours is always the one I went to. And then when I saw that Anthony did the ranking thing and you're like, I'm looking to do it. I'm like, fucking yeah, man. I'm in, of course. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, well, right back at you, because I've been listening to you on Anthony's show for a while as well. And, that's how we met, was through the Facebook group that he's got set up there. And, yeah, even though I don't always agree with you guys when you're talking about the Snyder stuff, you bring such a passion to your discussions and you're pretty insightful of it. And so, and there are other things that, just like I've joked about with Anthony, that there are some times when I'm right 100% in sync with him. And then he says something else and I'm just like, that is the complete opposite. How did that happen?
Yeah, right. How did he get to 90% of the way and then fucking hit the right? Yeah.
And it's the same thing with a lot of stuff you say a lot of times. I think 80, 90% of the time, yeah, right on. I am completely in sync. And then there's just that little bit. I'm like, wow, I don't know how we diverge so much in our opinions of that.
That's awesome.
But I think that's what would make this fun, because most of the people I've talked about the Snyder films with have been more on my side, more of the not so keen on them. Whereas you, right. You're the episode when you talked about Zack Snyder's Justice League with Anthony. That was you brought a lot of emotion to that discussion, and that really. And when I listen to that, I'm like, oh wow, I can really kind of see where he's coming from with this, and so that was so it's always interesting to have those kinds of discussions.
Yeah, and that's the important behind having a conversation about something and just hate watching it or hate posting about it or whatever. I could even if ours are top to bottom completely fucking different, it doesn't matter. We're just having a conversation about it. And that's what makes it fun. It's not fun when someone's like, oh, this fucking sucks. Well, what are you bringing to the table besides this fucking sucks? Because if this fucking sucks is all you're bringing, your opinion is nonsense. As long as you're not backing it up, I don't want to hear anything you have to say.
Well, also, too, and I think, this is kind of the blessing and the curse of social media, because, obviously, if not for social media, I wouldn't have met you, I wouldn't have met Anthony and gotten to know you guys. But also because of social media, it's, it amplifies the worst aspects of both sides. So, most of the pro-Snyder people I saw on social media were, the worst fucking people imaginable. And I remember when, and we'll talk about this when we get into more of the movies, but with Man of Steel, my first impression coming out of it was I don't know how I feel about that. And then being around people who had such a negative view of it kind of really amplified the negative parts of it, in my own opinion. And so it wasn't until years later I was able to have a little bit more of a nuanced view of it.
Yeah, I think you have to watch things a couple different times, right? One, when it comes out, usually in that position, I'm like, everything's great. Everything's a fucking 10. Why did this movie get this shit? Because I'm just excited about being up there. Then as soon as you talk to people who have an opposite view of yours, you're like, oh, wait, maybe I was wrong. And then 3 months down the road, you watch it again, you're like, no. So it's kind of through osmosis, through other fucking people, you're like, yo, yeah, they were right about that. But I don't think much changes from your original view on things. You might tweak it a little bit, but I think most of how you came out of something is kind of how you're going to feel about it. For instance, fucking Thor Love and Thunder suck dick, and it will continue to do so in the most terrible way possible. I'm not even talking about romantically sucking a dick. I mean, this thing is it's like a leper's penis. It's always going to be bad. And everyone's like, well, what about this part? I'm like, that fucking part was stupid. The same screaming joke bit is fucking stupid. And even afterwards, when I tried to find something that little nut was, but it didn't matter because I always went back to that original, this is a fucking blasphemy of two of probably the coolest storylines as of recent history, right? The Jane Foster and Gore was fucking awesome. And they neutered both of them to make it a 120-minute joke about goats. So it still went back to my original thing where I'm like, this is terrible. So I think you can glean cool stuff from people, but I think most of the time your original idea is kind of where it's going to sit.
I think so too. I mean, I have come around on a lot of stuff that I saw. I will use this example when we start getting into the rankings of Constantine. Like, first time I saw that movie, I absolutely hated it.
Yeah.
But then years later, I watched. I'm like, and I was able to divorce it from the character of John Constantine. I'm like, oh, you know what? Actually, this movie is pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
So I have had that experience a lot too. Or like, my favorite example is Batman and Robin, which I hated for years, and then I rewatched it again, and I'm like, actually, when you look at this as, a modern day version of
it's
60s Batman,
of its time. Yeah.
It kind of works that way. I'm like, okay, yeah, I can kind of dig this. There's still going to be problems with it. Like, I still think Chris O'Donnell is a pain in the ass, but
yeah. But you know what? The neon fucking bad guys and like the overly dramatic scenes, like that was comic books during that time. Like, if anything, it was pretty fucking it was pretty comic book accurate, man. Like instead of just Harvey Dent being like half dark with like the head, he had this fucking whacked out purple and pink suit on with the crazy hair. I'm like, look at comics during that time. A lot of them were fucking drawing them like that. So I don't know. I thought that was pretty fucking accurate.
But anyway, we're kind of getting off into the rails a little bit right from the start. But let's tell people a little bit about yourself.
I'm a teacher. I just got married again for the second time. Hopefully, second time.
Yes, congratulations.
Thanks. Anthony came to the wedding, so did Sean and shit. Again, a bunch of people I met through Anthony, like you, Sean, and all the guys at Fat Moose and stuff. I was in the comics when I was about 5 or 6. My dad was an alcoholic, so he would drop us off at the local comic book store while he went to go drink, and it was great because we just walk around and fucking he'd come back. We didn't know fucking what was going on, but that's how I found my love of reading too, because I didn't want to go to school. Like, school wasn't fascinating to me and shit. And then when I started to read comics and my lexicon grew because of comic books, because if you look at the statistics, at least a majority of them, you will learn like 10 times more unique words in a comic book or a graphic novel than you would in your run-of-the-mill fucking school book that's out there.
Right.
So then I started doing better at school because of this, because I was like, well, I'm reading all the same stuff. It's still a plot. There's still suspense. There's still all that. Why can't I just apply it to here? So I've had a pull list somewhere since I was like 7. And then there was large gaps in the middle where I was like, I don't want to collect comics anymore because it got too fucking expensive. But I'm going to continue to love the mythos, right? So I did that. And then after a bout with alcoholism, went to rehab, came back out. And I was like, well, now I want to do the cosplay thing, but I want to do it like big. So I got a pull list over at fucking Sean's, and my year-long goal was to be like, I'm going to do a Lobo, because I'd done it before rehab, but I was very skinny because I didn't know how to do body stuff. And I was like, I'm going to do it this time, and I'm going to do it bigger and better. And then I did, and then that was kind of like the goal for that was the reinvention and shit, get my mind straight. But comics have always been a part of everything I've done. And then you find out cool people that you're involved with, like comics too, like Method Man's a huge fucking comic book person. And, of course, I'm from Jersey, so there's the Kevin Smith thing and shit like that. And I know Mike over at the Stash. So it's really cool when you meet somebody who looks like me, looks like you, or looks like this person, or looks like someone you've never even known. They're like, I see you got that fucking shirt on. You like that run? I'm like, I fucking love that run. And then you just get into, like, nerds automatically. So it's like, I will wear it on me, right? Like, I'll wear the fucking custom jersey, or I'll wear like the Wonder Woman hat or whatever. People are like, cool. But then I like it when you're just standing in line and no one has any idea what's going on. They make mention of something, and you have this like instant kinship. If you meet them in person, we know if you meet them online, they're fucking.
That's a different story, yeah. No, that's so true. A lot of similarities in our stories. Like, tragic about how the impetus for you getting into the comic store in the first place. But aside from that, I had kind of the same experience where, like, I didn't really like a lot of the books they were giving us in school, but I love comic books. And my parents, they would just kind of like roll their eyes, but they're like, all right, whatever. They wouldn't discourage it, but they weren't exactly enthused by it. But you also mentioned the lexicon thing, and that's so true. My late co-host Derek, he used to say that when he was in school, he would use these words in like his essays and stuff for school. The teacher would be like, where did you learn that word? And he's like, well, I got it from like Mighty Thor. I got it from Avengers. And they look at him like, okay, yeah, you're full of shit. And he's like, no, that's really where I learned it from.
It's so weird that you mentioned that. I wrote an essay and used the word vehemently. And I think I was, I don't know, fucking 6th grade, 7th grade. And my teacher was like, where did you get that from? On the cover of a Lobo comic, it said vehemently not for children. And I looked it up. I was like, that sounds like the coolest fucking word ever. So I started using it. So it's so weird. It was like the same thing. Every, new like interesting and not like the prosaic word that I know comes from, reading a comic book. And yeah, like, of course, like if I'm reading a psychology book or something for school, a lot of that's from that. But even some of the facts that they use in comic books now have to be relatively close to facts. Like when Harley Quinn did a standalone book where Joker's a young kid and he was just abused, she has these like small pieces where she uses like actual psychological terminology. So it's not just like, we got to go get the fucking incinerate. Like, it's not like, come on, chap. Like, it's not like that anymore. People actually have to use real science, which I always thought was really cool. But I'm like, damn, how smart are these motherfuckers writing like Fantastic Four and shit? I'm like, I don't wrap my head around the fake version, let alone the fucking real version.
Well, yeah, it is so weird now. You look at a lot of the comic writers now, and you compare them to like back in like the golden age and stuff, and it's like how immensely educated a lot of them, either self-educated or professionally educated too. So yeah, there's a lot more sophistication in these stories than I think a lot of people realize. I mean, and when people always ask me about my politics, because I'm an unabashed progressive, but I come from a very conservative family. They're like, "Where'd you get that from?" I'm like, "I got it from comic books. I read X-Men."
Yep. And and people still have that weird like, aren't those for kids? And I'm like, there's no way to break that stigma. It's like being heavily tattooed, man. Everyone's got a motherfucking tattoo now, especially because numbing cream's an actual thing that doesn't ruin your body, right? And people are still going to view it a certain way. There's just no way to get rid. There's just no way to get rid of that. It doesn't matter who. It doesn't matter how much money Jim Lee brings in. It doesn't matter how many fucking stars and Henry Cable's not only a this fan, but he's a Warhammer fan. It doesn't matter. People are always going to be like, that's weird. Like metal music, right? They're always going to be like, can you even understand what they're saying? Why is that still the fucking argument? Like 40 fucking years later, I don't give a fuck what they're saying. If I do, I'll open up the thing and I'll read the lyrics. But it just seems like a lot of those stigmas, particularly in comic books, are never going to go away. It's always the nerdy kid, the fat guy with the neck beard, the fucking, like, I don't know, man. And it's like they don't even want their mind changed. So I'm just like, I don't fucking care anymore.
I mean, it's funny when I had my wedding last year, and at my wedding, one of my buddies, he brought, his wife and his family came, and his wife is, pretty heavily tattooed. And afterwards my mom was like, she's very unique, isn't she? And that was like her nice way of saying, like, I don't know why she has all those tattoos. I'm like, yeah, but she's also like the sweetest woman on earth. So, So today we're going to be talking, and you kind of touched on why you got into comic books and all that too. Tell us a little bit about your Lobo cosplay too.
That was it was kind of the heart and brainchild of getting right after rehab. And I was like, all right, well, my mind is right spiritually and shit. I'm good, because I left 27 days in the rehab because I got the original COVID-19, like the one that was killing people and shit. So like 3 days before I got my coin, I helped the guy up the stairs. I knew I got it from him because everyone said he came in with it. Helped him up the stairs because he had one leg. He was a vet. Helped him upstairs get in the chapel during one of the big meetings. Next day, dude, I woke up and I was like, whatever the fuck it is, I got it, because it felt like nothing like I ever felt before. So 27 days in, they send me home and they're like, you got it. So I'm like, all right, I guess I'm staying here. The hospital's like, you ain't fucking staying here. I'm like, what do you mean I'm not staying here? Like, can you breathe? I said, yeah. They're like, then you're going to fuck home. So I got home, and, thankfully after like fifth, because I did have a bout with not being able to breathe. That was scary as fuck, man. Oh, yeah. My house wasn't that big. I walked like 9 steps to the kitchen, had to take a knee. I'm like, I'm out of fucking breath. Like, this, I'm going to die, which is fucked up, man. I just went to rehab to get better, and now I'm going to fucking die. But so that passed. I was like, all right, my head's in the right space. My spirit, my emotions in the right place. How can I get in shape now? Because it wasn't just like, I love going to the gym when there's a reason. It can't just be like, I want to look good with my shirt off, because I rarely take my fucking shirt off anyway. And besides, I'm heavily tattooed. You can't tell I have abs regardless. And I was like, I'm going to work on the Lobo things. I did it in 2017. And I was like, this time I want to be bigger and better. I'm going to get people to make the stuff. I'm going to get some upgrades. Like my most recent upgrade was the shin guards and the knee guards are behind me by Josh from the Paladins of Cosplay, who's like, him and his mom are the fucking sweetest people on the planet. And I was just like, I'm just going to keep that in mind. If I can keep that in mind, it'll be like, no, I got to go, right? I got to go to gym. I can't take a fucking day off, because that's going to be the why at the end. And then everything, much like any lifter, just goes in a big cycle, except my beach season is October. So like I get cut and shit like that and start to get vascular for October, because that's show season. During the summer, I don't fucking care what I look like. I'm married, man. I'm 43. I don't get my fucking my wife's fucking stunning. What do I care if some fucking chick by the pool thinks about me? Like, I got to go home to her. Like, that's even fucking cooler. So that's how I got into it. And then I found out the dangers of alcohol-based body paint. It don't fucking come off. So I've had to find like 19 different ways to take it off. And still, like a month after, 2 months after the convention, there'll still be some behind my elbow. But it's a labor of love, because once you get stopped, like at one point it took me like 45, I'm not kidding, 45 minutes to get to the front gate to the first floor of the convention floor, because I got stopped that much. I'm like, this is why I don't care going to the gym and busting my ass and crying during like set 5. Like, I don't care. Like, this is it. So comics kind of made the mind, body, and spirit all come together. And that's what I was talking to Anthony, man. Like, people could talk all the shit they want. Like, oh, why don't you just into something regular like sports? I'm like, what? Were you guys burn down your city after your team wins? And that's fucking normal? So, yeah. So it was cool that was the thing that brought it all together. And the cosplay thing is great. Like, I'll never go to a convention not dressed up. It's just so much fun. Mickey Mouse for a day.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to a bunch of cons and stuff, and I have such immense respect for what you guys do with the cosplay stuff, because you guys go all out. Like, there is such intense dedication with that, and it's like, I mean, like me, I'm walking around a convention floor in shorts and a t-shirt, and I'm dead by the end of the day, and I don't know how you guys do it.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's like, I used to have legit fucking motorcycle boots that I walked around in for fucking 3 days straight as Lobo. When I got home, I was like, I ain't gonna be able to do this the next day. But the adrenaline spikes, right? So Josh, when he made me the knee and shin guards, he was like, what do you want for your feet? Dude, he fucking made Crocs to look like the bottom of Lobo's boots that look like metal with spikes. So I put the thing on, slip right in. He's like, how'd they feel? I'm like, I'm walking on a cloud, motherfucker. It was awesome. So yeah, maybe find little ways to be more comfortable.
That's cool. It's a nice little insight. Yeah, and I never really considered like all the behind the scenes stuff of cosplay stuff, but then Anthony had the Superman cosplayer on his show. I'm forgetting the gentleman's name, but
behind the cape or of some but
the guy who does God, I wasn't even that was an episode I'm like, I think maybe I'll skip this one, but I had nothing else on my podcast feed. I'm like, I'll listen to it, and my God, that guy had me in tears with the stories he was telling. And it's amazing. Like, I can't even imagine what you must feel like.
Yeah, and the joy you bring to other people. And, it's not normally kids. Like dads will shove their kids aside to be like, take a picture of me and Lobo, because, it's older kind of fucking dude thing. I'm like, that's even fucking cooler, man. He's like, take my picture. The kid's 7. He doesn't know how to work the fucking camera, but the dad's excited. It's a big part of it.
All right, so now we're talking about the DCEU. And I mostly know you from Anthony's show, but I know like just because you're on Anthony's show doesn't mean you're necessarily more of a DC guy. Because I've been on there a few times. I'm more of a Marvel guy. We had Scott on here earlier. He was more of a Marvel guy, getting into stuff. So where do you usually lean? Do you lean more Marvel or DC in terms of comics?
Honestly, I don't. I pull stuff. Like right now, honestly, some of the best stuff I'm reading has nothing to do with them. I know Rand V does a great job, but Rand V does a great job with everything he writes, right? And the team that's on Guardians of the Galaxy, who's also the team on The Outsiders, is also great. But Kill Your Darlings is Image. That's fucking amazing. The Deviants, that's Image. That's fucking amazing. There's another one called Harriet Tubman. Yo, shout out to my boy fucking, oh my God, I forgot. I got to fucking look it up. Of course, I'm going to forget. Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer is the fucking dopest book out right now. I think his name is D. Crownson. So he's got a book out called Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer, and he's the nicest fucking dude in the world. And that shit,
David Crownson, got it.
That's it. Yeah. He's such a fucking great dude, and he's nice as shit. So honestly, I will read whatever character I like, but I will bail if I'm not really into the writing. Like, I fucking hate Damian Wayne. I stopped, dude, after number 4 of Batman and fucking Robin. I'm like, get me the fuck off this train with this fucking pampered bullshit thing, and fucking Bruce is acting like a big dummy. I was like, I can't fucking have that. But like, so Avengers is great. Like, I'm into Avengers. I can't wait for them to reboot the X-Men thing, because the whole fucking, there's a tree and there's fucking a racket. We live on Mars. Like, I want to go back to terrestrial stuff, but honestly, a lot of the stuff that I'm reading right now, there's one called Guma, Gumaa. Dude, it's incredible. There's so much stuff that's not happening with the big two. There's a lot of good stuff happening there, but a lot of the best stuff I'm reading right now has nothing to even do with them, man. I'll put up a list. It's fucking great, man. There's a lot of other good shit out right now, but I'll read whatever.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah, I was just curious just because I know people have like different, lean different ways when it comes to those two.
I
Like
don't
me,
fucking care.
I love DC stuff. I love Image stuff too. But I do tend to like Marvel's what got me into it. So it's still kind of like, I kind of lean a little bit more towards Marvel whenever I get the choice of those two.
Oh, yeah.
Now I know you were definitely a Snyder fan, like we kind of mentioned. I'm obviously not as much. So when it came to doing this ranking thing, I was kind of thinking about like what kind of criteria I'm going to use. So I decided I'm going to try something different because I've talked about these movies from the source material standpoint.
Right.
Whenever I've talked, we've covered all the Snyder films at various points throughout this show. So I decided when I go back, I'm like, I'm going to watch these movies and I'm going to approach them just like I approached Constantine on those repeat viewings. I'm going to divorce it from the source material, just kind of evaluate it just on its own. So I'm thinking about things like how does it hold together as a story? How are the performances? How does it look? And how rewatchable is it? How many times do I think, man, I want to sit down and I want to watch this thing again and again and again?
Dude, like some sort of fucking labyrinth fucking dream goblin. You stole that right out of my head from about 2 days ago. I'm looking over my list and I'm like, dude, I can't just come at it like, is it like the comic? Because then like which version? What continuity? Triangle?
Right.
This like, so it's like I can't do that. So I literally have dude, I put it the same way outside of like maybe 3. I was like enjoyability, rewatchability. Yes, a comic book movie as a whole, but you can't be like, well, it's divorced from, it's Elseworlds. Everything's going to be fucking divorced from it.
Right.
It can't do it exactly how you see it. So my ranking system, very similar to the one that you use, mainly with storytelling as the number one. Because I'm a literature guy and I'm an English teacher. So mainly that was like the number one approach to it. And just how much I enjoyed the fucking flick too.
Yeah. Same here. And same here, literature major stuff too, as well. And also too, like, because when these movies came out, right, WB was saying like, this is like the only version of Superman you're getting. This is the only version of Batman you're getting in live action. And now, now we got Tyler Hoechlin on Superman and Lois. We're getting Superman Legacy. So now I can go back and I can approach these with a different eye, just like I did with like the Batman and Robin. I'm like, okay, well, this is not my Batman, but it's a Batman and I can enjoy it based on that. So I think that's kind of the approach I'm doing. And we're also doing something a little bit different. Instead of going in, our ranking order, we're going to go in the release order. So we'll talk a little bit about each of these movies when they came out, and we can also kind of chart the evolution of the DCEU as it went about. So starting off right from the top, we got Man of Steel in 2013. Zack Snyder obviously directed that one. And it's funny, I told this story before, but this was the summer of 2013. Yeah, and my expectations for this summer was the complete opposite of what I came out feeling, because we had 3 big comic book movies. We had Iron Man 3, we had Man of Steel, and we had The Wolverine. My expectations going into that summer, like Iron Man 3 is going to be the best movie of the summer. Man of Steel is going to be a close second, and The Wolverine will be kind of a distant third. It was almost a complete inverse of that, though, after I saw all those 3 movies, because Man of Steel, it was more of like a distant second, where The Wolverine I enjoyed so much, except for the third act. But that's another story. And Iron Man 3, I hated at the time. I've mellowed on it since, but at the time I just did not like it. So I had a completely different impression going into that summer and coming out. What were kind of your feelings going into Man of Steel?
I've said this on Anthony's show. I watch every fucking comic book movie that comes out. I don't give a fuck what it is. Like, I watched The Empty Man. The Empty Man was an Image comic, right? And it was just like, I just love to see comic book shit on screen. And I like to see it through the lens of other people. Yeah, am I like, oh, I would like to see this? Yeah, but it's not my fucking movie. If I was going to write such a good fucking comic book movie, I would sell all the fucking scripts behind me that I don't fucking have, and they pay me $1 million to do it. So I don't care whatever it is. I'm just fucking happy it's up there. Because, like I said on Anthony's show, either we can have them or we can have nothing. We can't have both. Right? Yeah, so either we can see, like, we are living in the fucking golden age of our lifetimes, man. That's why nerds and shit and like, Star Wars guys, like all the rest of these people complaining, motherfucker, there will never be another time like this where everyone's going to be like, everything you want right now is out. Did you go to fucking Disney recently and step foot in that Star Wars land? Not me. No, but I wish I could, but yeah. Dude. It's It's fucking incredible. And people are like, it sucks because it's not. Shut the fuck up. Shut up.
Yeah.
Like, it's here. Because you keep bitching, they're not going to make it. Then you know what they're going to bitch about? The fact that we have fucking nothing. So when I saw Superman, especially because I didn't know who the fuck Zack Snyder was. I thought he was the zombie guy. Like, I didn't know there was like this whole big thing. So I just watched it because it was a fucking movie. But that trailer was amazing, dude. With just
oh my God. That trailer was incredible.
Dude, like him standing in the front of the line with the cape and like the fucking sound effect. I'm like, I got goosebumps now just talking about it. Because every time I see a comic book thing, I'm like, this is going to be the best thing that's ever happened. Now, in the long run, will it? No. But I'm living in a fucking time where it's happening. Like, a comic book person can't complain. Like, what are you going to complain about? We got something. I can't say that for a lot of other shit. So I was hyped, man. I was hyped. I was like, this is where it's going to start. This is going to be fucking good. This is going to be good.
So I've gone back and forth on this movie a lot over the years, and my biggest problems are with the Jonathan Kent stuff and the Metropolis battle. Those, and looking at those from the perspective of how I perceive Superman, those are still things that stick with me whenever I watch the movie. But again, we're approaching this as divorcing it from that. And based on that, I had to put this number 5 on my list. So this made it into the top 5. Because it is a movie that again, if you divorce the Superman stuff from it and you just watch this as like, this movie about this character, this movie does hold together. It holds, the story makes total sense. I can't find any plot holes. There are amazing performances in this. I mean, Jesus Christ, Michael Shannon is Zod. Unbelievable. Russell Crowe is Jor-El. Yeah.
The last time I saw Michael Shannon, he was one of like the fucking third string bad guys in like Bad Boys 2. I was like, that's the same fucking dude. He was fucking intimidating as shit, man. And it's weird because you put it at 5, I put it at 4. I put it at 4 because for the same reason, you can't be like, I'm a Superman fan, let me watch this movie. You can be like, I'm a Superman fan, I'm going to go watch this movie and enjoy it over here. But they're not going to give you exactly what you're looking for. They're going to have to tell this movie in a fucking story that someone who has never known, they know Superman from this. That's it. They got to be able to start a story and fucking end it, not for you, for them, right? For everybody. You're not going to get, like, it's not fan service. They got to make money. They got to make money. So in terms of a fucking movie from start to finish, it was a fucking fantastic flick. I don't care what version it is. And, he should have the trunks and he shouldn't. And it is a fucking movie to kick off a fucking universe with the fucking star player. That's it. And it was awesome. It was fucking great. I love that flick.
And in fact, going with the trunks thing, because I'm glad you mentioned that, because I also want to mention that, I've always said, like, the two things I think Snyder did amazingly well in these movies are the costumes and the casting.
Yeah.
A few exceptions here and there, which I will talk about. I'm definitely going to mention those exceptions. But for the most part, I mean, these costumes are on point. I know people quibble over, trunks, no trunks, or it should be brighter.
The suit's
I don't mind.
Dark,
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't mind the dark colors that they use now. I thought they worked fine for live action. I thought, getting rid of the trunks works fine, too. I would have liked a little bit more separation in the middle, but for the most part, I thought they did a great job with the costume. And I thought that, having it be very similar to the costumes on Krypton, it had a nice little synergy. Again, just my personal thing as a Superman fan, I wish we had Martha have some input on the costume design or something like that. Like, maybe you should wear a cape or something along those lines. But I really like what they're doing
Superman style shit until after he got that fucking thing. Like, at first he's saving dudes in the fucking water and wrapping a truck around. The wrapping a truck around the tree was my favorite fucking part. It's fucking great. Because what was he going to do, right? So, like, the fact, like, yes, if it told a Clark from birth through his childhood in Smallville, getting to Metropolis, sure, get him the one that's stitched together by Martha. But in this situation, long term, they weren't going for that. So you don't have time to do that. He's got to get right to fucking Metropolis because people want action. Right? They want him to get to there. So they skipped through the other shit, fucking flew right over there.
Yeah. And I do like some of the little changes, like having Lois figure out his identity, having Clark, wander the world, which, came from Birthright too. I like that aspect too of it. I thought what they did with Lois was great, having her be intelligent enough. And so we don't go through the whole, like, she's an investigative reporter and she doesn't realize the biggest story in the universe is sitting right in front of her. So I thought that was really good. We didn't undermine her intelligence at all. We set up, and and again, all the complaints I have from this are the complaints being a Superman fan. When I just divorcing it just from that and just looking at it as a movie itself, it's pretty damn good. It is very good.
And with the fight at the end, right? I always, because look, I'm always saying, okay, Zod doesn't give a fuck about anybody. Clark does. But what is Zod going to do? Every time Clark would try and fly him out, he'd be like, fuck that. We're going to bring it down here because I hate these fucking people anyway, right? Oh, he's blasting them through buildings. Dude, first of all, you have a fucking fight in space. Motherfuckers are going to complain about that movie for 10 years. They want to see buildings blowing up. They want to see shit going through other shit in focus. Like, they want all that stuff. If he would have flew him up, Zod would have flew him the fuck back down anyway because his goal was to kill all these fucking people regardless. So do I like the fact that he's going to snap his neck at the end? No. But that is Superman making a decision between I can either let this happen. Like, I'm trying to show you what my new life is. My Krypton is gone. These motherfuckers are savages. But this one family means more to me right now because this is my home than this motherfucker because this motherfucker definitely doesn't represent me. So I understand people had problems with that stuff. But like we talked about, as a movie, you couldn't have did it another way.
Yeah.
You can't. People wouldn't understand it.
I'm just going to say this one thing about the fight scene. Like, I think I would accept the breaking the neck thing a little bit more if I saw more of Clark playing defense in the Metropolis scene. Like, Zod throwing a car at some family, Superman catching it or something like that. And like pushing Superman to the point of exhaustion where he's like, I can't keep catching bullets like this. I can't keep catching fly balls. I have to take action to stop it. I think that would have landed with me a little bit better if they had done that.
Now wait, it's just a general question. How many scuffles have you got into? Like, how many times have you thrown down? Like,
me, none. None.
Okay. That was my thing when I was younger. When you're in the middle of an adrenaline dump, right? If you swing wild and hit somebody, you don't give a fuck because you're trying to go after this person, right?
Yeah.
So if you're looking at the realism of this guy now fighting someone who has the capability to fight him back, and you put him in a situation where I'm responsible for everyone in this fucking city. Everybody. My goal, regardless of what happens to everything, the more damage I do now, the less damage that happens in the long run. So I kind of saw it as like, I've been in these fucking spots before. And it's just like, my goal is to try and put this motherfucker down as fast as possible. Because if I don't, he might hurt me. He might hurt my friends. He might hurt, like someone else. So it's kind of like fight or flight. Right? So yes, he could have mitigated the damage, but when you're in the middle of something, you don't have time to think about the other shit. Your goal is just to stop the fucking fight by winning. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? So like I've heard a lot of defenses of, the way Superman behaved in that scene, but this is the first time I think anyone ever put it like that. So I mean, kudos for you to coming up with a defense that I have not heard before.
Yeah, that like, and again, like, look, I'm not waving it like a banner. I wish I didn't spend a bunch of my youth into my fucking mid-20s fucking fighting like an asshole, right? But the fact of the matter is that now I'm wiser to that stuff, right? You understand why when you try to break up a fight, your friend swings at you because he's not seeing anything else. He wants this person. So the fact that Superman had enough mindset to be like, I'm going to try and move past this building or I'm listening to all these people. I can hear the world. I have to focus on putting this dude down. If that means I got to throw him through a building, if there's people in there and it does more damage to him, I got to think about that first. So that's the way I always saw it. That's why I wasn't really crazy about it to the extent, that most people were.
No, that's a really good point. I'd never considered that before. But then, of course, after this, this movie was pretty successful. And of course, this came after Avengers. So at this point, DC is like, we got to play catch up.
Play catch up. Yup, motherfucker. Yup. Got to play, which is their number one downfall, man. They should have just played their game. They played a long game. There's no catching up. When they started to catch up is when they started to fuck up continuity. And when the complaints that people had were legitimate complaints.
Yeah. So I agree with that. And so Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice is announced. We find out Ben Affleck's going to be playing Batman. The internet lights itself on fire. Yep. Now, me personally, I was keen on Ben Affleck right from the start because I've seen him in enough stuff, and I'm like, this dude can act. I mean, I love the director's cut of Daredevil. I say that I'm unabashedly a fan of that, and I've seen him do like these really serious movies. I know he's got acting chops. Him as Batman made total sense to me.
Yeah. He's got range, man. That motherfucker's in a lot of different movies and plays a lot of parts. Like, people gave him shit like, oh, him and J-Lo. Would you leave the motherfucker alone? He's just trying to date.
Yeah.
Like, what is his, but like, now everyone's putting up the picture of him smoking outside. Yeah, like, what if he was upset that day? Some TMZ jerk-off's got a fucking camera in their face. Like, dude, the guy's got a life. His job is to entertain you. Now, if you don't like what he does, that's fine, but it's not him because it is what he's doing with his life and blah, blah, blah. It's a fucking movie, and he's an actor. This is what he gets paid to do. If he sucked at it, he wouldn't get all the fucking jobs he does. And have you ever heard that dude talk politics?
Oh my God, he is brilliant. Yeah,
man, he knows his shit. And he was going to write the Batman movie, and we were going to get the Batman movie until he did an interview, and he's like, motherfuckers email me all the time, where's the fucking Batman? And he's like, we ruined that, right? Like, people, studio, whatever. He was in. He wanted it. And he's like, I can't fucking do this. I can't do it. Yeah. Because he knows that if he touches that, he's going to piss off somebody. And he was just like, fuck that. I don't want to deal with that shit.
I mean, I know you're a Kevin Smith fan, so you probably heard it, but way back on when he was doing Fat Man on Batman, it was before he was it evolved into what it is now. He talked about when Ben Affleck was cast as Batman, and he talked about the house he lives in now used to be Ben Affleck's house. Yeah, and the first time he went there, Ben Affleck's like, dude, check this out. And he shows him, he's like, I got like a Batcave in here. Yeah, and he was such an unabashed fan of this stuff.
Yeah, yeah. And it's just like, how bad does it suck that you've got this thing that you love and all you want to do is make it for people, and people won't shut the fuck up about dumb shit. Like, I say the thing about Iman Vellani all the time. Iman Vellani was a cosplayer, cosplayed as fucking Miss Marvel. Then gets cast as Miss Marvel, then starts writing a Miss Marvel fucking comic, and people still talk shit about her. Like, what did you want? They took a fan with no fucking acting skills. She's awesome. I think she does a great job, and people still have something to complain about because they're all protected behind a fucking computer. I think the world should be like what the fuck Guns Akimbo. That's what everyone should happen, man. You ever seen Guns Akimbo with fucking Harry Potter? In Guns Akimbo, he talks about, he's a troll, right? Like, he goes to work, goes back, and trolls a whole bunch of people. In the middle of the night, they come and enter him in his game. You want to troll, motherfuckers? Now we're going to hunt you. And they fucking drill guns to his hands. But he did all that because he talked all this shit. In my opinion, every time you talk shit about something, you usually have to leave your name and fucking phone number. Because that would stop a lot of this shit. Because I'm convinced a bunch of people just hate shit just because that's the trend right now. And it's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
Because
there's the whole clout hunting thing is just so ridiculous these days.
Oh, God. Brie Larson's feet. Do you see her feet? What the fuck do you care about her fucking feet?
Yeah. Now, the other casting choice that was the big announcement in this was Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. Also lit the internet on fire. Now, at the time, I was actually kind of keen on seeing that because I'm like, well, I just saw The Social Network. He was amazing in that. If he played Lex Luthor kind of like a darker version of Mark Zuckerberg, I think that could probably work pretty well. Yep. What we ended up getting, I didn't like what we got. I did think I felt very justified in defending Affleck. I did not feel justified in defending Eisenberg.
Yeah, I was excited because, again, they're actors, right? If they get cast for something, that means they walked into something, they read a couple lines, and it fucking worked. They tried to create and it was right out of the comic. He's got the white suit on and the long fucking red hair and shit like that. He's kind of quirky, but he's not like, remember when Return of Superman came out and it was Kevin Spacey, right?
Yeah.
So Gene Hackman plays him first. Gene Hackman plays him a certain way, certain aesthetics, his mannerisms, his inflections, everything. Kevin Spacey did an impression of Gene Hackman playing fucking Lex Luthor. We haven't seen anyone else outside of the TV shows. People try and play him differently. When I saw Jesse in the movie, I was like, he's kind of doing the same thing. Very like, why does he do like that? Like, why can't he be serious? We didn't see what I thought we were going to get until the after credits with the fucking shaved head and shit like that.
Yeah.
I want to see that version. But I don't think he looks intimidating enough to give me that one. Yeah. I think he can give you the young one that turns a little psycho, but I don't think, like, Bryan Cranston would scare the shit out of me as Lex Luthor. Denzel Washington would scare the fuck out of me. Jesse Eisenberg would be like, fuck that rich kid, right? So I understand that's what they wanted, which is why they picked him, but I wasn't a fan. I was a fan at first because I want to give everyone a shot. But after I saw the way he did it, I'm like, nah, I don't like that.
Yeah. And again, my late co-host, he said, Jesse Eisenberg would be a great pick for Lex Luthor in about 10 to 20 years.
Oh, God, absolutely. Absolutely. the fucking dude can act, man. He can act.
Yeah.
He's got a bunch
Oh
of
yeah, he's an amazing actor. Absolutely, he is. And again, divorcing this from, and also, there is good stuff I like about this movie. Like, I think almost everything with Batman, aside from, some of the more extreme behavior stuff, other than that, I thought that stuff was really good. And I think it really kind of showed that Zack Snyder really kind of wanted to do Batman more than Superman.
Yeah. Which is, if you look at the aesthetics of his movies, that would make
makes sense, right? Yeah. Especially because there's so much of Dark Knight Returns DNA in this movie opposed to Superman stuff. Yeah. But also Jeremy Irons as Alfred, that was such a brilliant casting choice. Yeah.
Love him. Because he's supposed to, dude, he's what, ex-Royal Navy, isn't he? Like, he was trained fucking military. That's the version that we got. And I think Jeremy Irons does Brainiac's voice in Justice League Kills the Suicide Squad, too. It's frightening.
Oh, really?
That motherfucker is amazing. I loved him as fucking Alfred. Either him or homeboy who did Gollum, who was the TV show's version of Alfred.
Oh, Andy Serkis.
Yeah, I love that. That Alfred, again, I want that Alfred. He could still present as very, like, hello, I'm this and that. But like, at home, he's got the sleeves rolled up. He's working on shit. He's patching them up. Like, that to me is the Alfred that I want.
Yeah, there's a lot of I could feel like very similar to like Michael Gough and Michael Keaton. I could really kind of feel that same chemistry between Ben Affleck and Jeremy Irons. Like they definitely had that. Like, he's the only one who can call Batman on his shit, and I think Jeremy Irons played that perfectly.
Yeah.
And the Superman stuff, I feel like there's some good stuff in here, and I like, and I'm talking about the Ultimate Edition here, so I have seen the Ultimate Edition. I do like that they do show Clark, like, pushing back and trying to investigate stuff. I didn't quite understand the whole thing about, like, Perry White constantly hounding him about this sports match, though. That felt weird.
Yeah. I say it all the time. I would like to see more reporter, and I want to see more detective out of Superman and Batman. Yeah. Right? Like, I wanted to see more detective shit. Like, you got one thing in the Nolan where he takes the brick, which, look, I might be dumb. Maybe someone can explain it to me. He pulls the fucking brick out of the thing. He sets the gun and shoots 4 different bricks, and he's like, that's the one. But that's not even a brick. That's not even a gun he shot. Can someone fucking explain that to me? Because I still don't have a fucking idea what that is.
I thought I was fucking crazy, because I've been saying this every single time I watch that movie. I don't understand. I have no idea what that is supposed to be.
He shot 4 different bullets in the bricks, and he's like, he holds it up. He's like, that's the one. The fuck do you mean that's the one? How did you figure that out? I have no idea. Yeah, but a little bit more reporting, I thought that would have been cool. Yeah. But apparently that's what we're getting now in Legacy anyway.
Yes, yeah. But also, looking at this movie, though, there's still a lot of problems. And again, divorcing it from the comic stuff, there's still a lot of story elements that don't quite work for me. I mean, obviously the whole Martha thing doesn't work for me at all. Right. But even like Lex Luthor's whole plan, his whole motivation doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And the whole thing about how Batman's supposed to be this great detective, and yet Lex Luthor is doing all this stuff, and yet he doesn't figure it out. Like, all of that, it just so much of the story just doesn't connect right for me.
Right.
So for that reason, I ended up ranking this as 10. This ended up being number 13 on my ranking.
Okay. The Martha thing, right? I know that became a meme thing. I've loved that from the fucking beginning. I thought it was it actually almost brought a tear in my eye. We got a 20-year Batman. He's been doing this a long time. He's not even worried about who he kills, as evidence from the fact he keeps blowing up fucking trucks with his fucking Batmobile. He's driving over people. He's like, well, I didn't see myself kill him. He didn't want to do this forever, which is why he's like, we need a lead. Right, like that's what I'm out to do. Right, like I don't want to do this forever. There's certain things I can't do. He has never ever reconciled the fucking death of his parents, ever. Even in the fucking comics, nothing ever sits right. As a matter of fact, in the newest run, there's like Batmans from like all different universes, and they kind of crack a joke where he's like, "Guys, if you want to go to the morning room, we have a new art installation of Falling Pearls. You'll really mourn over it." Like the fact that he never reconciled he does not know that Superman's mom had the fucking same name. Does not know. Which means when Superman, and there's a lot of chemicals in the air, right? When Superman says, save Martha, I think we know it's the same fucking name. I'm not 100% convinced that Batman thinks that actually happened, or if he was fucking imagining it, that's why it's hit him as as hard as he did. We're talking about someone whose entire life, his entire existence and his alter ego is based off of the traumatic event that happened with his fucking parents. So when he says save Martha, of course the child is going to come out in this fucking billionaire with all of this shit. He's going to stop whatever he's doing. He's like, why do you say that name? He's got the same name for his fucking mom. Of course it would fucking stop him. If it didn't, I'd be like, this is bullshit. Like the fact that he stopped, he was like, why the fuck did you say that name? He doesn't know his fucking mom's name is Martha. None of them know. Which is why, like, we looked at it, and I think a lot of these fucking people started to use it as a joke. But I was like, guys, this is 30, 45 years of fucking trauma for this dude. He dresses as a giant bat to try and make up for it. And now he's got to do this thing, and you call out his mom's name, and you don't expect him to fucking, like, have you ever read a psychology book before? That's a trigger moment. Of course he's going to stop whatever he's doing, and he doesn't want to know what happened. He wants to know why he said that name. That, to me, was poetically beautiful. That's my fucking stance on it. And I actually put that in there.
I mean, again, you're coming up with some really interesting arguments that I have not heard before. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I still have issues with the way it was executed, though.
Of course. Of course. Yeah. I mean, especially because he didn't say save my mom, right? It was a save Martha thing. I get it. And that's where I think that Deus Ex Machina has to come in. He's got to say that, or else you don't get the stoppage, right? You don't get the stoppage if he says anything else. He doesn't just go save my mom. You can't do that because then it doesn't come together. I thought it was nice how they brought it together because it's like, look, man, and it's weird because a bunch of people were complaining, also put trigger warnings before this stuff. Oh, I'm going to mention blood. Oh, I'm going to mention this word, that word, because people have adverse reactions to it. This motherfucker has been living alone with a butler who's his dad for 35 fucking years, who's never, ever gotten over the death of his parents that now he's trying to make up for. And everyone's like, why'd he fucking stop when he said his name? Motherfucker, do you understand the question that you just asked makes you look like an asshole? Of course he fucking stopped. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. I actually put that at number 3. I really liked it. I liked it. I thought, I love the chick who plays Lois, man. She's fucking
Amy
awesome.
Adams,
I know she's not like aesthetically, she's got to fucking dark hair. I thought that she was finally the Lois that wasn't scared of shit. Like, she's supposed to be this intrepid reporter. She's not like women's right. Like, she doesn't have to say how strong she is as a woman because she fucking is. When she gets caught up, when fucking FBI agent Jimmy Olsen gets caught, that I was like, what the fuck? Like, that part I wasn't too sure about. But, like, she didn't know what he was going to say. She was like, fuck, I'm trapped. Like, what am I going to do? He just knows her heartbeat and came to go get her, but she didn't give a fuck about anything. That's what I like about her. Like, I like that take on the character. Also, has never been a better fucking Batman fight scene at that fucking warehouse.
Oh, God, yes. Oh, my God, yes, absolutely, yeah. That fight scene is amazing. Again, like, that is the one thing that I think, even if you absolutely hate this movie, cannot stand watching it, you gotta give it to Snyder for that fight scene. That scene is amazing.
Also, Doomsday, I don't know what the fuck happened.
Yeah.
That, to me, I was like, look, if he starts off looking like Bedrock from Brigade or whatever that fucking team was in Image, that's fine. But every time he dies, give him some more spikes. Like, why did they settle on the little nuggets? Like, give him the fucking, like, it's CGI, man. It's not like it was a person. Like, the fact that he didn't grow the big ones, I was like, that movie, I think, would have got at least 20% less hate if he started to get, like, the ridges and stuff like that. I don't know, but let me tell you something. When that movie came out and the Trinity walked out, I was like, I got excited as shit, man.
Well, I mean, I will say that too. Like, when Gal Gadot comes out in that Wonder Woman armor, like, that is the brightest spot in this whole movie. Like, that's when, and especially when she gets that little smirk when Doomsday, like, knocks her back or something. Oh my God, I was totally there for that. Like, as that moment, I'm like, okay, I am totally into Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman.
Listen, at that point, everybody on the planet, regardless of what their sexual identity was either gay or straight for Gal Gadot. When she gets kicked back and she smirks and, like, shakes her head, she's finally someone that's worth the fight. I was like, dude, I almost fainted, man. And then someone put up a GIF of just that. I was like, whew, that's the shit right there. Yeah, man. It was good. And come on, dude. This is Gotham. We got a long history of people dressed like clowns. I was holy shit.
Oh, that Clark Bruce interaction, that was amazing. Like this is like the little nuggets of stuff that I wish we saw more of that.
Yeah, yes,
but also
exactly.
too, like the whole thing about like Luthor using his own experimental bullets in Africa. I'm like, you are literally signing your name to this. This is really and Lois Lane is the only one who can figure it out. The world's greatest detective can't figure this out. So that also, I'm like, this. That's why I said when we did our review episode on this, I'm like, Lois Lane is the best detective in this movie, and even she is not even that great a detective.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, man, but for all the issues, and you know what? Clark is right. If I wanted it, you'd be dead already. He's not fucking wrong. He's not wrong. Yeah. And I know everyone's like, dude, don't even get started with Bat Boys. With enough fucking prep time, Batman can take out Thanos with that. Man, shut up. Shut up. Yeah. That's fucking... But, like, I thought the way they did it was great. It's smoke. Clark didn't know what it was. He's like, whatever, I'm going to catch it and it fucking explodes. That shit, like...
Well, he hadn't experienced kryptonite at all at that point. So that made sense.
Batman spent the whole fight trying to fight for his life. I got to kill him first, because if this shit wears off, I'm dead. Dude, remember when he's punching him and his face moves less and less? And he's like, oh, shit. He starts to back up. That fucking fight was awesome, man. Yeah,
no, I mean, again...
So that's why I ranked it high.
When it comes to visuals, Zack Snyder takes a backseat to no one. I mean, he is amazing when it comes to the visuals. Yeah. And also like the Batman costume too, incredible use of the costume. I love that costume in it. And there's one more thing I was going to say about it. I also think that like this was just kind of a missed opportunity to really kind of build the universe out, not just in these weird video files where Lex Luthor is apparently designing superhero logos for some reason.
Yeah.
That didn't make much sense. But, I mean, I think this movie would have worked a lot better if there was more of a contrast between Batman and Superman. And that's what I thought we would get going in. Like when we saw all the trailers and like Bruce is like, angry and terrified of what Clark is capable of. And I thought, I'm like, okay, so he's going to come in. And I would have liked to see if it was Batman and Lex Luthor who both come at this from similar angles where it's like, this guy's dangerous. But then Batman, like, starts to turn over the course of the movie instead of at the last minute. And like around the midpoint, he starts to realize, oh, wait, no, Clark's has a good heart. He's just raw. He just needs more training or more instruction. And me being the senior superhero, I'm going to give that for him. And then where Lex Luthor just goes further xenophobic madman. I think that would have worked better off as a way of like building up the universe.
Yeah. And it's like I always talk about, like, because you always hear these directors going, that wasn't my vision, blah, blah, blah. And even Kevin Smith, he talks about it all the time. The worst part of the process is you got to bring it to all these studio heads. And I think Patton Oswalt brought it up in one of his comedy sketches. He's like, well, why is the necklace she wearing red? Make it white. Like shit that they want to change for no fucking reason. Well, I can only imagine what that's like writing a movie, right? So you're a writer, right? You write this fucking thing and you're like, this is exactly how I want it. People are going to love it. This is my vision. I got a little fucking thing in my head. You bring it in, you're like, isn't this great? And they're like, nope, change this. So now your name is still on that credit. And you're like, fuck, I still have to make this work. It's not necessarily what I wanted, but I still got to make it work. And after it comes out, it is now out there for good or for ill. People are like, fuck this dude and fuck him and fuck him. You're like, look, man, I did the best I could with what I got. I got an hour and fucking 20-minute hour, whatever, runtime. Like, what the fuck did you want me to do? Tell an entire 60, 70-year history? You can't fucking do it, man. Yeah. So it's just weird, man. Like, it's always like this visceral, like, I don't know if I can write and direct because not everyone's going to like it and people are going to intentionally hate it just because. And I don't know if I got a skin for that, man. Like, I don't.
Well, I mean, look at Kevin Smith's talking about his experience with Superman and dealing with John Peters and all that. That's a perfect example of what you're talking about there.
Oh yeah.
So then after this, we end with the death of Superman, which again, I think we already know you're doing Justice League, dude. I mean, you kind of take the suspense out of it when you kill Superman at the end of this movie.
Yeah.
But still, next we went to Suicide Squad, also in 2016, and this is when my faith in the DCEU just completely plummeted. It cratered when we got to Suicide Squad. Right. I mean, and I was kind of looking forward to this. Like, I'm like, okay, Jared Leto is the Joker. I'm kind of curious to see what that's going to be like. Yeah. I love the Suicide Squad. I love the Ostrander run. So I thought like, okay, bringing in a bunch of these villains. I did think it's weird though. I'm like, we haven't even brought in the superheroes, and yet we already have a team of supervillains who are in prison.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. And I think that was the rush fest, right? Where they were just trying to, fuck us with everything that they had because Marvel was putting out something every month. Where if they just did it smart, I think we'd still have the Apocalypse, Justice League coming out, all the rest of that stuff. I think the race that they were this imaginary race, because it's an imaginary race. You didn't have to fucking try to catch up with anybody. You could have just told your fucking story, man. And instead, it was like, throw this out, with this continuity, this isn't continuity. They started making multiverse stuff without establishing a multiverse first. So it's like, all right, well, what is in and what is out? People were just randomly changing. You're like, what the fuck is this? And like, well, that's not in continuity. Well, since when? You got all the same characters except for one fucking person. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
this ended up.
So where do you sit on that?
This was number 15 for me.
Okay.
Where'd you put it?
It was 13 for me. It was 13 for me.
Pretty close.
The version that came out was a 13. The original trailer that I saw with the sad song in it, that could have been in my top 5. Because I feel like this was a complete... And I know, like, the release to air... Like, look, man, I don't know if the original movie was the same and they just made a great trailer for it, but the first one seemed way more haunting. Like, this is fucking horrible that these people have to do this. There was some really bright spots. Like, dude, fucking Margot Robbie's incredible.
Oh, God, yeah.
She's incredible, man.
Yeah.
I like the dead shot in it. Like, fuck, I thought Will Smith... I loved the dude.
I thought so,
Colonel
too.
Flag. Like, I liked it. I even like this chick as Enchantress. I think she's a talented actress. But here's why Shazam 2 ranks so high on my list. I know it's usually low on everybody else's. Here's how it ranks so high. You got the Suicide Squad taking on a fucking world-ending monster. Now, I understand it's a movie. You kind of look at comic books the same way. You can't have something like that and have nobody else show up. Especially after Batman v Superman. You can't fucking do it. I don't care how much Amanda Waller runs. They always give her this fucking amazing defense against everything. No one else showed up. Nobody? You got this whole fucking thing going on. That's why I like, and we'll get there, Shazam 2 is like, there's a bubble, motherfucker. What are you going to do about it? Like, at least that sated that for me. But this was too big. You want to give me a Suicide Squad movie? Make it something small. Give me Intergang. Like, give me something smaller, street level, terrestrial level. You got a bunch of people who fight a terrestrial thing anyway. You got Harley Quinn swinging a fucking hammer around at fucking mutated monsters. Like, it just didn't... It was too much. It was too much.
I mean, I thought... You know what I think they should have done? Is Batman's missing, because he's traveling the world trying to gather the Justice League, but nobody knows that. Joker comes back, and now we need to get a team to take down the Joker, because he's so dangerous. Like, that's what I thought it was going to be. That's what I hoped it would be, and then what we got was just... And then Joker is just kind of ancillary based on that. Yeah. And I'm sorry, like, I hated every last thing about Jared Leto's performance as Joker in this in the scene at the end of ZSJL. Like, everything about him I hated, from like the weird laughing.
It's weird. He didn't have the same voice or laugh in the closing scene of the Zack Snyder thing. He didn't have the tattoos. So just
he didn't have the tattoos.
How much he wanted to change, right? Because his voice, like, he didn't sound like the Mask. Why did he sound like the Mask in the fucking movie? Right? And Jared Leto's talented as shit. Have you ever seen it? What the fuck? The drug movie. Fuck, man. What was it?
Requiem for a Dream.
Oh my fucking god!
Yeah,
the guy can act. He can act. He's a fucking wonderful actor. But that's the version you have him playing, right? You have the gangster, the clown, the anarchist. You had a couple of the other two. Let's make him the gangster. Now, I do think it's apropos that he's in, like, shorts with Batman logos on. And I was like, that's pretty fucking funny. But you didn't make him... But there are parts in it that I really like him laying in the perfectly meticulously put daggers and weapons. I was like, that's awesome. Also,
it's a good visual,
one part in that movie that, to me, was quintessential Joker, set chills up my spine. When he's firing the gold gun out of the helicopter, just that 4 seconds, the face that he makes, I'm like, that's awesome. Like, that moment was fucking great. But he was not only underutilized, but I think that's the one where they, like, let's throw him a curveball, and it was a hanging curve, and they were like, we don't want nothing to do with that shit. They definitely let him play the wrong Joker. Because I think because now in The Batman, we have this dude who I think is really talented just doing a Heath Ledger impression. It's the same thing. He's got a fucked up face, same voice, same everything. So they tried to do something a little different, which I respected, but it went way left. I think the entire movie was just a victim of everything going way left. It was just too much.
I will say, I loved Ben Affleck's cameos in this too. Like, again, another way of showing like what a great Batman we could have gotten. I thought he did an amazing job in those scenes, and also Viola Davis as and Viola Davis as Amanda Waller. Perfect casting.
Petrified.
Perfect casting.
She's petrified. I mean, she's great.
Those are the three things I liked most about it. It was Margot Robbie as, number one with the bullet. Viola Davis is a close second. And then, kind of in the third was Will Smith. He really kind of impressed me as Deadshot. I never expected him to play it as hardcore as he did. Because you hear Will Smith as Deadshot, you're like, all right, Will Smith's got this squeaky clean image. He's going to definitely make him like the anti-hero type character. But no, he was still pretty hardcore in it. I thought he did a pretty good job.
His interview, I think, with Jimmy Fallon was my favorite, though, where he's talking about seeing the Batmobile. He's like, and the Batmobile came around the corner. I was like, how can you not freak out, man? Like Ben Affleck hanging off the fucking top of it. Like, he got to watch all that shit. He got to stand 5 feet away from him. He's like, that's it. You're dead shot. You're done. And he was like, no, like, that's so fucking cool. So, I don't know, man. It seemed like, yes, I heard there was a bunch of reshoots. Dude, I know so little about that shit. Reshoots, no reshoots. I don't know. What they put out kind of fucking sucked.
Yeah. I mean, I hate all the rhetoric about, the release, the Ayer cut and all that kind of stuff. I hate like how extreme they get to it. But that being said, though, I would like to see the director's cut of that. I would also like to see Batgirl. Not fucking see that. Yes,
though.
Absolutely. Yes. Oh my God. Yes. And Coyote v. Acme. But that's, again, I could go on another rant about David Zaslav, but I think I've said enough of him already. So anyway, after this, so we're pretty close in this. It was number 15 for me. It was number 13 for you. After this, we got like the first big curve in the DCEU. Like, this is the first time when they're really trying to turn things in a different direction, and that was Wonder Woman 2017. I went apeshit over this movie when I saw it in the theater, and I'm not a big Wonder Woman fan.
It was a masterclass for cinema. The fucking movie was incredible. That movie, storytelling-wise, and the fact that you took someone in a bright suit. Yes, I know it was an original bright. You took someone in a comic book suit and made it believable. Her attitude, everything. Dude, that fucking movie was incredible. And then it was only made worse by the second steaming pile of shit that they came out. And I was like, really? Yeah. Like, that's what you're going to give us afterwards? But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Fucking bottom. Dude, Wonder Woman was an incredible flick. It was an incredible flick.
Now, this was number 3 for me, and it got knocked down a few spots because of the third act. I think the third act, it kind of gets a little bit weak. The whole thing, I loved what they were leading up to with the whole idea of, like, Ares isn't actually responsible for this. This is just man. He
doesn't have to do anything. Yep.
But at the end, when they kind of say, like, yeah, well, I was kind of whispering in their ears, I'm like, okay, now you're trying to do both things, and I don't think it works. I think it would have been better if Ares just, like, if the main villain is like Dr. Poison or something like that, and then at the end, she realizes there is no Ares, and then maybe Ares pops up after she kills the German general, and he is just like, I was just sitting back and watching this with a bucket of popcorn.
And he walks away, and he just pimps off. Yeah, actually, I don't think you needed... So this was number 2 for me, mainly for the same reason. I liked the fact that he was like, I don't have to do shit. These motherfuckers are savages. But then he was like, but then there's a fight at the end. However, I do like that his armor was pieces of Death Machine that man made. It was parts of armor, like it wasn't his. It was a tank here. It was a piece of a gun here. Like, he called all of these man-made, which to me is metaphoric, that man makes more war than the fucking god of war. Like, I enjoyed all that shit. Honestly, the weakest part that I had was, and it's going to sound like something small, the sharpshooter did not have a redemption. They say that he can't sharpshoot anymore and stuff like that. And in the end, yes, I know that the lob is like he makes one fucking critical hit, but you can't lay that down as a storyteller in the plot and not in resolution have him get to that point, because otherwise he's just a motherfucker hanging on the entire movie. So that was my only qualm with it. Like, yes, no, I didn't want the fight at the end, but the fight I then thought was okay, because in my head it was, these people are so much better at war than me that I have to coat myself in their shit. So I thought that was kind of poetically beautiful. Like, I thought that look at it was awesome. But the fact that the sniper had so why make him? Don't put him in there at all. Why? Because he fucking sang? Like, that's not really. I don't know. Like, that was the only part that I was like, that's fucking stupid. I don't know why you have that in there.
Also, and then, Chris Pine as Steve Trevor.
Awesome. Oh, God.
Perfect. And him and Gal Gadot's chemistry was off the charts. Like, oh, my God. I mean, like, the only thing, you're wondering why they haven't fucked on that boat at that point, because they're just got so much chemistry together.
Yeah, really. And people are like, well, she wouldn't fall in love with a man that soon. Really? Why not? Right? Like, I know people immediately want to jump on the, why would she? Okay, well, I'll jump on the other. Why wouldn't she? Shouldn't know what a fucking man is, right?
And also, I mean, like, dude, it's Chris Pine. I would go great for Chris Pine.
Yeah, I mean, and shit, like, he is beaten and fucking brute, like, shit, like, they lean on each other. He's not, he in no way makes it out that he's superior. He's trying to explain that men run everything, and I just listen to him because this is how the fucking world works. So I think that there's that mutual respect there, too. I love that fucking flick, dude.
Yeah,
dude, that No Man's Land scene.
Oh, my God, it's brilliant.
Oh, my God, dude. And we knew it was coming. No one passes No Man's Land. And then she crawls up, and it's just her feet, right? Like, they're all fucking getting gunned down, and you just see her feet, and then she comes up over the ladder. I was like, dude,
and it's the first time we see the costume in full in the movie. Like, before that, we only get like little glimpses here and there. But the first time we see it in full is when she enters No Man's Land. It was perfect.
I see the flex of mortar like this. I was like, yo, the fucking movie's great. Oh, it was so good.
And we'll have more to say about Wonder Woman because I actually already recorded the episode, but it's going to be coming out later on the feed. Nice. We did a whole episode on Wonder Woman with Nick and Danny from the In Love with Movies podcast. So lots of good stuff you guys got to look forward to with that. But anyway, so that was 2017, and then after this, then we get a big crater, and this is Justice League, and. The Justice League, I guess we can call it. Yeah. And this is when things really started to go, completely off the rails. Like, because Zack Snyder had suffered the worst tragedy imaginable. Right? Yep. His daughter committed suicide, and then he's like, you know what, I'm out, I'm leaving. And then Josh Whedon comes in and at first, I was excited to see what Whedon was going to do because I loved Avengers, I loved Age of Ultron, huge Buffy, Angel, Firefly fan, all of it. And then what we got, I'm just like, this is weird.
They said Marvel it.
Yeah.
That's what they said. They said Marvel it because even the tone of the movie was different. Everything about it, the jokes and everything. Oh, well, because again, they were in some foot race when they should have just played their own fucking game, man. Like the number one hockey team doesn't worry about what the number one football team is doing. You're both a sport, that I'll give you. You're both a sport. They're both comic book things. But the differences are so fucking varied with realism and stuff like that. Just play your fucking game. Don't worry about that. They got nothing to do with you. And we saw this. He tried to turn it into the Avengers because they wanted lightning to fucking strike twice. The only difference is Avengers had fucking movies of build-up that made sense.
Yeah. I mean, there are still some things I think that Whedon did that I like. Like, I really like the way that Superman is portrayed in this one. Bad CGI lip aside, I think they should have just given a full beard and go with that instead. And I like the line when Aquaman says that line to Bruce about how strong man stands strongest alone, and Bruce that's the opposite of the saying. I actually kind of like that little change they made to it. And I like the conversation between him and Alfred about how, one misses the time when all we had to worry about was wind up exploding penguins.
Yeah. Yep. Again, key stuff like that is great, but the entire tone.
It was all over the place.
Different. It didn't. Because we'll keep this, we won't keep this, and then you Frankenstein together this thing that looks like, from what I understand, the Golden Child was like. And I didn't know this till recently. Apparently, the Golden Child, when the movie came out, was supposed to be a serious flick. There was no comedy in it. They got Eddie Murphy, but they wanted it to be a serious flick. And then I rewatched it again with that knowledge, and you can tell because some of those parts, the more is deathly fucking serious, and then there's weird jokes thrown in. You're like, wait, man, I didn't pick this up when I was a fucking kid. So I think that's what it was. You tried to tell this fucking serious story, and you had the trailer come out, and even the trailer was come together, but a weird version. I'm like, what is going to happen in this movie? Now, it didn't take away when I fucking saw it. I was screaming. That's fucking great. Holy shit. There they are, man. They're all fucking right there, and it's awesome. And then when you think about it, and you're like, wait a minute, you start looking at the movies that came before, and you're like, wait a minute, I have a problem with this, and what's this plot hole, and what the fuck is this, and why does Steppenwolf look like that, and the rest of the shit. And I was just like, yeah, I was excited about the movie, but even when I left the theater the first time, I was like, that could have been better.
Yeah, I remember when I left the theater, people, I'm just like, I don't really know how I feel about this after the first time I saw it. And, I mean, again, I thought, like, I love seeing Jason Momoa as Aquaman. This really introduced me to him as that character. I thought he did a great job. I thought Ray Fisher, even though he had a very small part in this version of it, I thought he did a pretty good job. Yeah. Gal Gadot and Ben Affleck still bringing the best they could do. But Ezra Miller, I despise him from the first frame of this movie. I saw him in just like, oh God. And, and I said, like, I like all the designs that Zack Snyder has done with some exceptions. The Flash costume is the exception. I hate that fucking costume.
Yeah. That one didn't have to be like, why does it have metal and shit? Like, it shouldn't look like to me, it's the Flash. It shouldn't have armor. It shouldn't have armor. Like, it should look more like Grant Gustin's fucking like that's the one that just makes more sense to me. Right. Because anything else just heats up and I know, like, well, it's made out of metal. All right, fine. But like, it looks like it was stitched together, which technically, I mean, I guess it was, right? Like, he made it. So it was just but if he made it, show me one that looks like it was made. Yeah. Right? That looked a little too, so I don't know. Yeah.
And another change other change that we'd made that I actually liked was when they're in the subway and Flash is like, I've never done this before. I've never fought people. All I do is just push people out of the way, which doesn't make sense because we saw him fight Captain Boomerang at the beginning of Suicide Squad. But I love Batman's line to him afterwards, like, save one, and then you'll know what to do. Perfect Batman line.
Yep. I also like the fact that for the most part, I wouldn't say like Batman was trying to find where he was needed. He had big machines, but otherwise he got slapped around quite a bit.
Yeah.
That's why I like the Snyder, because in the Snyder version, he actually used his smarts to gain the advantage on parademons and shit like that. Like, I like that a little bit more, because in this one, it just seemed like he was like the comic relief. Like, he didn't really do much of anything. He was just kind of got thrown. Like, come on, he gets tossed by Diana too. He talks about Steve Trevor, which was fucking weird. So
that was weird too. I did not like that. That felt like forced conflict there. Even when Affleck's delivery of that felt very forced. Yeah. Like, it felt like Affleck did not want to deliver that line at all. I did like also how they incorporated the Batman and Superman theme songs too. I know Anthony didn't like that, but I I
love that. I said that on his show, dude. When the Batmobile comes ripping around the corner and it's here, and that's it. It's gone. I was like, that's fucking cool, man. I enjoyed that a lot.
But still, this ended up ranking number 12 on my list.
That was 15 for me. It is 15.
Okay.
Only because the other one I liked so much more that actually pushed that one down because the other one made sense.
Okay. Now after this, we get to Aquaman 2018. I'm just come right out and say it because we reviewed this a while back on the show, but this was number 2 for me. Yeah. I love the hell out of this movie.
Honestly, Aquaman was 5. It was really high. And Aquaman 2 are the only ones that are close in terms of a part 1 and part 2 to anything that I have on this fucking list. I got to tell you, both of them were really enjoyable. I didn't want to see part 2 because I didn't give a fuck at that point because it didn't mean anything anyway. It's not even continuity. I'm glad I watched it because that part 1 and part 2 is probably the strongest part 1, part 2 that we got out of everything.
I think you're right. Yeah, absolutely. Now, number 1 and number 2, they aren't the closest in rank for me, but they are number 2. His number 2 is the highest ranked movie on my list.
Oh, so no, I meant on my list, Aquaman is number 5. I just meant as a part 1, part 2.
Oh, okay,
in terms of where they are in my list of 16, they're actually close together because I enjoyed both of those flicks a lot. And wait, did they do a whole bunch? Well, we'll get to this when we get there, but I thought they shot Amber Heard out of a bunch of Aquaman 2. She's in the whole fucking movie. What did they mean?
They did actually. Yeah, we'll talk about that because Dolph Lundgren said that his part and her part were supposed to be much bigger than what we got. So apparently they were supposed to be.
Really? They were in a lot of that fucking movie.
I don't know. Maybe she was originally supposed to be part of. Maybe she wasn't injured. Maybe she was originally supposed to be part of it when Aquaman and his brother go out on their journey. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly, but I just remember that's what Lundgren said about it when he was asked about it. But yeah, I mean, and
Aquaman 1 was fucking awesome.
It was back and forth between whether I'm going to rank this number 2 or Wonder Woman number 2, and I ultimately went with this one because I think Wonder Woman's first 2 acts are much stronger than Aquaman's first 2 acts, but Aquaman is more consistent as a movie all the way out. Like Aquaman, it ends, like the third act is just as good as the first 2. Wonder Woman, that third act is a big drop off for me.
Yeah. And also comic book-esque costumes. Dude, Ocean Master walked right out of the comic. Black Manta, the fact that they pulled off the dome head and made it look good, they could have went any other direction. They made that shit look good. That's a good looking. And then obviously with the actual armor, which my problem is that it's a suit. Like you could tell, like when Arthur Curry's just walking around, he ain't that bulky and then puts a suit on. I'm like, what the fuck is this? But in terms of what the movie looks like character wise, those costumes look fucking phenomenal.
Yes.
Like they rolled the dice and were like, we want this to look like Orm's fucking costume. It's like purple and fuchsia. And they made that shit look good. Even the helmet, which are like, they're never going to make that look good. It fucking looked awesome.
The orange and green. If you told me they were going to have a full-on comics-accurate adaptation of the orange and green costume, I would have been like, no fucking way. Jason Momoa would never wear that, and it's not going to happen. Oh my God. Not only did he wear it, he wore the hell out of that suit.
Yeah.
That looked damn good.
Now, my only issue with him, personally, is he should have been waited on, but he was big at the time. That's Lobo all day, every day. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like that, he even plays certain aspects of his personality as Arthur is very Lobo-esque. Now, if they do pull him, of course I want to see the flick. I would have been nice to see without knowing that he was Aquaman. If anything, make the guy who played Orm Aquaman and give him like the fresh cut, or have the dude Anthony Starr who plays Homelander, give him fucking Aquaman. Make him look like that so you can save the person who literally is fucking Lobo to play fucking Lobo.
Yeah.
Now,
I definitely.
Playing the same person. He gets drunk, he falls down in the puddles and shit like that. It's just the same guy. So that's my problem. It's not with him. It's with the fact that they used him way too fucking early when they didn't need to. They had someone who looks like him and acts like him. You should have waited. You should have fucking waited. But I thought the flick was fucking great, man. Him jumping in there, dude, it was awesome. That guy, who did it? James Wan? He makes a beautiful fucking flick, man. He makes a beautiful. That fight at the end, I was like, this is like Braveheart under the fucking sea, man. This is great.
I mean, they got the friggin' octopus playing the drums, for Christ's sake. Jesus Christ. Like the way Atlantis looks in this is it's amazing. It gave me huge Wakanda vibes seeing how they did Atlantis in this. So I love this movie completely. I agree with you. Like, as much as I do like Surfer Bro Aquaman, he should have been Lobo. That would have definitely been a better move. But anyway, we move on from this to Shazam 2019, and this was another one that I dug a lot. Like, basically, and again, I was not a Captain Marvel Shazam fan at all, never really had any interest in the character, but the whole idea of approaching this as like big but with superheroes, I thought that was a brilliant way to address this idea.
Yeah. I like Shazam 1 a lot. Then I saw Shazam 2, and I know that like people shit on it. I like that better. Like, really? 2 pushed 1 down, but I have a bunch of, but like, obviously when we get there, Shazam 1 was high because it was enjoyable. It wasn't forced comedy. People are like, why is he acting like that? Because he's a fucking child stuck in a big person's body. He's Tom Hanks with powers from fucking Big. Like, that's what he is. Of course he's going to act like he's charging people's phones and shit. I liked it. It was just moved down because of other stuff that I liked that was above it. For whatever little reason. So Shazam was actually 12 for me, but 12 not because I didn't like it, just because there's reasons why there's other stuff above it. But part 2 actually ranked higher than that. But I like Shazam the flick. I thought it was really fucking good.
I thought so. This one ranked number 6 for me.
Okay. I thought bringing in a family, like, and fucking Mark Strong, who I thought he was great as Sinestro.
Yeah,
that motherfucker was Sinestro all day. I think the reason why it dropped a couple points for me was the family aspect at the end. Like, you have Shazam fight the whole battle, and yes, I know the importance is the family, right? But that's not spelled out until the very end with the very last fight. I don't know. It just seemed like, hey, we need to put more people in costumes to sell toys. Like, that's what it seemed like to me. So that part just felt a little weak sauce near the end. But I really liked the fight.
I do a lot of public domain, and I'm active in a lot of public domain circles, and there was a conspiracy theory about in public domain groups that the reason that they had all of them in the movie like that was to prevent, because Captain Marvel's first appearance is actually in public domain. So, like, to get around trademarks and stuff, people will change the colors of the costume. So there's a conspiracy theory that they changed they had all these different characters with different colored costumes so that they could secure trademarks on all these different versions.
That's awesome.
I don't know how true that is, but it'd be funny if it is.
Yeah, but dude, it's an enjoyable flick. He acts like a giant child when he talked to Zach. And here's why I like him. When he went on his rant after part 2, people are like, he's lost his mind. No, he didn't. Did you listen to him? He's right. Every fucking thing that he said about the movie, about the release, about everything, about how no one backed him up and shit, he's motherfucking right from start to finish. That flick was way better than people gave it credit for. And people, like, they just left him out there to fucking hang, man. Like, they just left him out there to hang. Like, and then he wrote a tweet. I'm not on fucking Twitter, but like I see this shit come through. He wrote to Henry after Henry was brought back and then let go again. He's like, I'll see you in another universe, man. Like, Zach Levi was so about that character. Like, he loved that fucking character. And that, to me, says a lot about his enjoyment of making the flicks themselves. Like, that dude's great. As that fucking character, he's Billy Batson all day. I love that fucking flick.
Yeah. Okay. And then after this, we got 2020, Birds of Prey, and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. This was actually number 7 on my list.
Dude, it's number 6 for me, dog. I fucking love this flick.
Yeah. It's so much fun.
The rewatchability on this fucking movie is so good. Because that's
what made it number 7, the rewatchability. Yes.
Thank you. It lives in this little microcosm. It's just her. They didn't go too overboard. It's fucking and Ewan McGregor as Sion. What a fucking he's like, oh, she's boogery. Oh god, cut her face off. I was like, oh my god, man. The only reason why this movie is in 6 and not higher, Cassandra, the chick who played it, she couldn't act. She was shitty. They didn't even have to make it Cassandra Cain because she was not an assassin. She was not mute. Why did you make her some other chick? Who fucking cares? Like, you didn't have to use the name because people are going to look at it and go, so you just gave her the fucking name? She was the worst. Dude, the only reason, some days I want to watch that movie just randomly, and the only reason I'm like, I'm going to watch something else is because she's in that fucking movie.
Yeah. I agree completely. Like, I mean, I love Cassandra Cain. She's my favorite Batgirl, hands down.
Yeah.
Utter disappointment of what they did with that character. I mean, so annoyed by that. And also, I didn't quite like. I like Mary Elizabeth Winstead. I didn't think she was a good fit for Huntress, but again, divorcing it from the comic stuff, like I'm trying to do, she did a fine job in that aspect.
Have you seen Kate?
Cape?
No, Kate. She did an action movie on Netflix called Kate. Listen, they probably made her act like that because she's very like campy, super like I'm gonna get my revenge. I saw Kate, and I actually met her at Comic-Con. I managed to get out one thing to her because they take a picture. She's she is fucking stunning, and she is very tall. I didn't know that. She's fucking tall. And I went up. I was like, Kate should have been how Huntress was played. She's like, I love fucking Kate. Like, dude, the movie, it's raw. It's fucking. I swear to God. You make that a Huntress movie, I'm in fucking 24 hours a day. I think that she had to act like the tropey, because it's a fun movie. It's fucking goofy and shit like that. She's planning her lines in the movie or in the mirror. But I thought Canary was awesome. I love Montoya in this flick. Yes. I got the shirt that says I shaved my balls for this. Every aspect of that movie was fun. The rewatchability on that fucking movie is so good. And if you look at the more goofy side of the Birds of Prey, that's them. It's fucking perfect. They can handle this shit. They're never going to handle everything up here. They're not going to handle shit down here. They're going to be right in here, and they can live in their own microcosm, and you can put them wherever the fuck you want in the DCEU. I love that flick.
Yeah, it was great, and I love like the Harley vision that she has when she's in the police station. And it's
the police vision was so good, dude.
It was great.
That scene with the cocaine. Oh my god, that fuck was so good.
And oh my god, I have never wanted an egg sandwich more than I did after I watched this movie.
When Hot Toys came out with her figure, one of her accessories is a half-open Taylor Ham and chocolate cheese sandwich. I was like, That's awesome. And the fucking beanbag, because again, she doesn't want to kill anybody. And you know what? It's like, people are, well, why wouldn't Batman show up to the GCPD? Because Harley Quinn's chaos, dude. They didn't know there was no plan for that. She's like, I'm going in there. Boom, kicks open the door, doesn't kill anybody. And it's great because every time she hits them, like glitter fucking flies out. And so like, this is I love that fucking movie so much, man. Because they weren't trying to be anything. They weren't trying to be anything. They weren't in competition. They were like, we're going to make a fun fucking movie from start to finish. And they did. Yeah. They did. They made a great fucking flick.
Now, unfortunately, we had a massive drop-off from here because after this, we got Wonder Woman 1984. And I don't know what happened because you had such an amazing creative team in the first one. They're all back for the second one. And I subscribed to HBO Max for this shit. Right? Because they were now. This is what got me to subscribe. Yeah, this is what they got me to subscribe to HBO Max because they said like, oh, we're going to be releasing same day releases and it's going to start with Wonder Woman 84. I'm like, okay, well that's it. I'm subscribing.
We rented out a theater because it was during COVID times. That's how bad we wanted to see it. Because I said that if it's anything like the first one, which a little tidbit of information I didn't know, Anthony told me. The first one, Patty Jenkins is listed on that, but there was like 15 screenwriters. They couldn't and that movie came together so good. This one, she had all the control, and someone should have yanked that that was so where is it on your list?
So this is number 14 for me.
Yep, this is 16. If I could have made it 20 and put random shit in there, I would have. This movie made fucking no sense. There was a bunch of shit, like she pretty much psychologically raped some random dude the entire fucking movie. They sell you Cheetah in the preview. We don't get Cheetah till the end. She fights for about 6 seconds, and then the whole fucking thing. The gold suit gets fucking torn apart so she can fly. The shit way that they brought in the entire fucking movie. Okay. Bruce has to fucking expend everything to get one picture of her fighting the Kaiser in World War I. This motherfucker's whipping around a mall in 1980. Motherfucker, I worked at Blockbuster.
She goes to the fucking White House.
Those cameras, you break the camera, it doesn't stop the VCR running in the back with all the information. But when they see Superman, like, this is fucking fantastic. Motherfucker, it's 1980. Some of the motherfuckers seen Superman and go, bitch, we had a woman swinging around a fucking mall with a gold lasso, but 30 years ago. That movie was dog shit from start to finish.
Yeah.
I don't think there was any redeemable, besides Kristen Wiig, who I didn't think could pull that off. She was awesome.
She was great, yeah.
It took her way too long to get the Cheetah that we wanted.
The only thing that
throwing the Maxwell Lord aspect of it, I'm like,
what
the fuck is this?
Yeah. And like I think the only thing that made this number 14 on my list were Gal Gadot and Chris Pine, their chemistry together, the creepiness factor aside, which you are absolutely right about that, and Kristen Wiig. Those are the only things that got it as high as it did. And even like the way that she solves the whole crisis and all that, I'm just like, how does nobody know who this woman is? This doesn't make any sense. Like none of this is completely separate from the rest of the continuity, and it's just, the whole idea of like her pining over Steve Trevor for decades and yet being active as Wonder Woman, like none of this makes any sense. I'm like, if you want to have her, retreating from society or something like that, and then she doesn't come back until Batman v Superman, fine, great. This movie should have been set after Justice League.
She won't share a cab?
Yeah.
Really? A cab? That's how much. Now, it's supposed to be this women empowerment movie. She can't move her life forward because some fucking dude that she knew, let's face it, for about 4 months, maybe? And this is supposed to be your women empowerment movie? So, here's your women empowerment movie in a nutshell. Wonder Woman, the person with the same skill set, as in the only weakness that Wonder Woman has is Superman. As shown when Batman brings him down there, he goes, Clark, open up all these things. They open up, there's a vibrating bomb for Flash and stuff like that. They open up Wonder Woman's, it is empty. He goes, what the fuck is this? Batman's like, she's got no weakness, man. She's just like you. She don't have a kryptonite. If she goes AWOL, you're going to be the one to take her down. So you have the most powerful woman in the fucking continuity, not moving on from her life for fucking 40 years, then having this pit-pat thing with probably one of the smartest women in Kristen Wiig's fucking character, which
Mhm.
they should have went with the first cheetah, but that was my whole fucking problem. So now instead of her being like, no, I'm me, I'm smart, I don't give a fuck about dudes. She just wants to look like her. Oh my God, she's so pretty. She's so your women empowerment movie is one woman not liking another one because she's better, and this one not fucking moving on past her life for fucking 40 years?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Get out of here.
Have you ever read, this is going to sound like a real out of left field, but I promise it's connected. Have you ever read Atlas Shrugged?
Yeah. And Rand.
Okay. Yeah. So it was fun. There's this one, description or something I loved it that's saying like, I can't believe that this character in Atlas Shrugged was written by a woman because she is the most stereotypical misogynistic vision of a woman ever.
Yeah.
I felt very similarly about how Diana is written in this movie and how Cheetah's written in this movie too. Like, it's just, I cannot believe a woman wrote this. Maybe I'm, stepping on a line here, but it feels so stereotypical.
And this was her, she had, if what Anthony tells me is true, she had complete control over this flick.
Yeah. And
which means I'm glad she didn't have complete control over the fucking first one.
Yeah. I think this just goes to show that, film is a collaborative effort, and it is good to have people who can rein you in.
Yeah. Because in the end, it's not like everyone loses their memory. That would be a fucking shit Deus Ex Machina.
That's what I thought they were going towards. I thought that's what they're going towards with that.
Meanwhile, the world is still a mess. This one wakes up next to a cow. They all remember what happened. So at one point in Batman, in Superman shows up, and Martha Kent, Jonathan, none of them go, well, in 1980, we got a fucking wish made so we can have a fucking house on our... No one remembers that shit? This movie is what fucking begun the fuck up of continuity. And people are like, it was Harley Quinn. No, it wasn't. Harley Quinn, at least she mentions the Joker. You don't even fucking see him. She's working this fucking area. This area in Gotham, man, and nothing to do with her. This fucking flick was when they just said, fuck it, let's just put out movies as fast as we can. This one fucked everything up for me.
And then after this, we get an upswing, and we get Snyder's Justice League 2021 came out, and this one was I've had a journey on this one because when I found out that he was talking about there's enough footage for him to do his own director's cut. I'm like, you know what? I didn't like Batman v Superman. I didn't like Man of Steel, but I'm very curious to see what he would have done. And when I saw it, I had kind of a negative reaction to it, and I've rewatched it since. I think I've rewatched it like twice because I watched it one time. I decided to watch the. I think you talked about Justice is Gray on Anthony's show, right? Yeah. So after you guys talked about it, I'm like, all right, well, let me watch the Justice is Gray edition, and slightly better impression of it. And then I rewatched it again to prepare for this, because this was the one I was kind of the mixed up. And again, divorcing it from the comic stuff, it's a pretty good movie. It holds together very well. It's much better than the original one. It makes
sense. Yep.
It makes sense. The cyborg stuff I thought was great.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. And so, but rewatchability is one of the factors I had in here, and I'm not going to sit for 4 hours.
That's a 4 hour fuck. Now, rewatchability in terms of scenes, yes, absolutely. Dude, Not Impressed was probably one of the greatest fucking cinema like that, the boot that he lays on him afterwards, after freezing that fucking axe, was spine tingling, dude. That shit was so good. That shit, and the black suit, woo, man, listen, that whole fucking scene, that movie, like, yes, it was operatic, right? Fucking what, it was 4.5 hours, 5 hours. It was in like
4 hours,
different parts. Yes, it's a lot of movie, so rewatchability ain't fucking happening. But the reason why, so it was number one for me, only I think mainly for redemption, right?
Okay.
Like, Scott Snyder was like, this is what I wanted, dude. People, when his daughter killed herself, people were talking shit. He's like, that's why your movies suck.
That is ridiculous. That is unbelievable.
This is what you're going to do to this guy? Like, this is what you're going to do? Like, all he wanted to do was put something out to be enjoyed, and this is what you're going to do? So when he's got the thing in the beginning, he's like, this was my vision. This is how I wanted it to look. This was everything. If you just look at that, like, say that's the only thing that ever came out. It was just that, and we got nothing else. At least I'd be like, that's beautiful. It's a story. There's subplots. There's like, and it's very long, but it didn't, like, I don't think it dragged. You got a little bit more Martian Manhunter. Did I like the fact that it was Martha? No, fucking not really. But you get stuff that makes sense. Martian Manhunter floating down at the end. Hey, man, I'm just telling you, it's not over. Like, there's other shit that we need to deal with. It was excitement, right? There was a lot of excitement in there. There was a lot of like, I would love to see where this is going, especially if you did an Elseworlds thing at the end and you have Superman with the anti-life equation in him, and you have that apocalyptic. Dude, I love that so much, man. Like that image of the Joker, like that Joker to me was haunting. He's got all of the Gotham fucking like cop things that he's killed and shit like that. Like it was heart wrenching. And he's like, I killed that. He's like, I'll fuck, dude. Batman's cursing and shit. He's got gun. I don't know, man. It was dope. It was dope. I fucking loved it.
This was number 8 on my list, even after, separating from the comics and stuff. There's still some little problems I have. One is the rewatchability, because I'm not going to be rewatching for 4 hours. There's some weird plot things here. Like, the black costume does look really cool, but I feel like there's no reason for it. Like, I think it would have been something if there was some sort of thing, like, it's a regeneration suit or something, some reason for why he decides to wear the black.
Or they find it on the ship, and that's what he's supposed to get buried in.
Like that's the only costume left or something like that. Like, if that's the only thing he's got in the fortress, fine. Right. I would have bought that too. But I didn't like that aspect.
Or Martha makes them that one. Yeah. Like she made us.
I didn't like all the slow-mo. Like, we don't need slow motion of Lois delivering coffee. And everything with Barry still. God, I fucking hate Ezra Miller. When he rescues Iris in that scene, it's borderline creepy. The way he's like brushing her hair out and like it's just, and then the hot dogs flying around. I'm like, this is weird.
That's like art imitating life too, because they, whatever the fuck.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Yes, exactly.
I love Nick Cave and Warren Ellis. They make some of the most haunting. Dude, they did The Road. They are fucking awesome when it comes to giving you that dirty, gritty, all hope is lost thing. That fucking score, that soundtrack did not match this fucking movie. It was awful. Like, dude, I was like, I can't listen to this. It was so bad. I didn't even know that it was Nick Cave because I really like that dude. I was talking to Anthony about it. He's the one that brought it up to me. I'm like, you fucking serious? Dude, some of the songs were on the nose. He'll come again. He's the king. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Dude, I was like, that's got to go.
Also, the weird Scandinavian singers who are coming out. I'm like, what is even happening right now? I thought, because I watched this movie when it came out. And it came out like late at night here in Japan, and I'm just like, what is? I thought I was sleep deprived, and I dozed off or something when the Scandinavian singers came out.
But parts that were obviously all the cyborg stuff is your redemption, right? But also Bruce Wayne knowing the language. When he went to go find Aquaman, of course he would know the fucking language.
Yes.
In the first one, they treat him like an asshole. In this one, he's like, of course I know your fucking language. He's Bruce fucking Wayne. Why wouldn't he know the language? So even stuff like that saved the look of certain characters, I was like, that's awesome. That's the way it's supposed to be. Diana does not throw Bruce in this one. They don't have that thing. Like, they don't have that. They're there to help each other, which I really like. There was it just like a lot of it felt more of a budding Justice League to me, as opposed to we're just trying to do the Avengers part fucking 4. Like that's what the Justice League felt like.
And also, but another thing I had a problem with is, like, I love the idea of Henry Lennox as Martian Manhunter. I love the way he looks in that last scene.
Oh God, yeah.
But when he appears as Martha, and like what he says to Bruce at the end, it gets the sense that he knows everything that's going on here, and yet he's sitting on the sidelines when he's as powerful as Superman. I'm like, you just basically told me Martian Manhunter's a coward, and I don't like that. Like, and that problem would have been completely solved if they cut out the scene with him changing into Martha. I think if they'd cut that out completely, that problem would not have existed.
Yeah, that was a big problem for me, only because, like, yes, Martha would try to pull Lois out of the funk. But there was one part that is shown in this that wasn't shown. She goes there every day. So the way I thought about it was, the reason why the cops, that she knows they're going to be there, is because that wasn't her last day going there. What I thought, to make it more haunting, at least from my aspect, she's told those cops every day that today was going to be the last day. And she does that every fucking day. Like, that to me would be something like, nope, you know what? Like, today, I'm not going to go tomorrow. I'm not going to go tomorrow. And she just keeps doing it. So yes, I wanted actual Martha to show up and talk to her. The fact that it wasn't, I was like, that was a fucking enormous letdown. Like that one really bothered me. Not enough to take it down, only because the scale and scope of like the epic. But the fact of the matter is I was like, why wouldn't it be like Clark's mom? Like, why wouldn't it be her? Yeah. Like, it just seemed like, of course she would take the flight out there. Her soon-to-be or almost fucking daughter-in-law doesn't want to fucking live anymore and has all these questions. Why wouldn't she show up? Yeah, that was kind of fucked up to me.
Yeah. I also like that. I also don't understand the whole thing about Darkseid forgetting where the anti-life equation was. I'm like, dude, this is your main purpose for being. And suddenly you're just like, I lost it somewhere in the universe. I can't remember. And it's like, who remember? I'm like, it's not your fucking car keys, man.
Also, and I have the Prime 1 statue standing right there. Love it. He's fucking enormous. He's like fucking as tall as my son, right? I love Darkseid. Love the character. He shows up. He takes an arrow, a couple farts of lightning, and he's like, oh, I'm dead. And an axe, which I actually like the irony that a god's axe will cut Darkseid, or a man's axe will cut Darkseid, but Steppenwolf's axe couldn't cut Superman's. And it was from the same angle, which I really like too. But Darkseid's supposed to be this fucking universe killer, and he shows up and gets his, like, listen, I understand there was a lot of them, right? But Darkseid is supposed to take on everybody. That's kind of his thing. He doesn't do shit. Like, he fucks up one Green Lantern so we can see a Green Lantern there. He takes, like, a couple shots from, I mean, I guess that's Zeus. And it's just like, he leaves. What the fuck? That's it? Like, that's it? Like, he just bitches off? That didn't carry the same, like, Thanos you're supposed to be afraid of, because they're kind of similar in that respect. I wasn't afraid of, like, I don't think anyone had the fear of Darkseid that they should have.
Yeah.
I think Steppenwolf caused more of a fucking problem than Darkseid did.
Well, I think and we're also talking about, again, going back to the visuals thing here, like that fight on Themyscira is unbelievably epic.
Yeah. Which, just to go back to, here's your Wonder Woman Part 2. I fucking said this to Anthony. You want a Wonder Woman Part 2? Here it is. Diana goes back home. None of it takes place in New York. She goes back home to fucking grieve, right? You get the original storyline, but in this one, Dr. Minerva goes and finds the shrine to, I forget the fucking god's name that gives her the power to become the cheetah. It's not a wish stone. It's the actual thing. And it's one cheetah, because every time she scratches someone, they become a cheetah. It's one cheetah running around the woods of Themyscira fucking up Amazons. Son, that's a fucking movie right there.
That would have been much better,
It's her getting that power and then taking little Amazon chunks here and there, and you have a fight there. That's it. That's the only fucking movie you needed, but I digress.
All right. So after this, we went to Suicide Squad, The Suicide Squad 2021. This was James Gunn's debut into the DCEU. I'm going to be honest. This was number one for me. This was my top one.
Really? No shit.
Yes.
Wow, that's awesome.
How about you?
It was 8 for me.
Okay.
Only because
our number 1 and our number 8s are complete switched.
Yeah, but I love the fact that it was your number 1 though. Like, that's dope because all in all, it was dope. Starro, it's fucking great, man. That's great. I think a big part of my was a lot of the red herring, right? You think Pete Davidson and all these people and with the fucking older dude, I'm fucking blanking on his name.
Mento.
Yeah, like you have all these people, and then you get rid of them, and you're kind of left with this fucking core group, right? I think the reason why it did not rank as high for me because it was very it was very Guardians of the Galaxy rated R. Like that's what it seemed to me. Whereas a ragtag fucking group, he was like, I don't want to do this, I want to do this. He just had the ability to say fucking show blood. Like that's kind of what it was. And then again, you have this world-ending thing, and no one shows up. And I understand that's always the fun, but like Starro, for fuck's sake. Like I understand it's on an island. Like that's cool that like you did that. But Ratcatcher was cool. I thought it was cool. But then there was like weird redemption stuff where like all of a sudden, like he's just like, yeah, you're right. Like, dude, the guy was raised a killer, born to be a killer, and he's like, now I'm a good person. Like, why did he need a redemption? Like, why do all these bad guys need redemptions?
No, I'm down with you. I'm with you on that. Yeah. yeah, overall, like I thought, I was not expecting to like John Cena as much as I loved him in this movie. Like, because when I heard John Cena, I'm like, oh, but he was amazing. I kind of slept on Peacemaker for a bit, but everyone was talking about it, and then I finally caught up on it. I loved Peacemaker. I thought that was amazing.
Great,
yeah. Even Rick Flag, I did not care much for Rick Flag in the first movie. Like, I'm just like, whatever. You know, Joel Kinnaman, you know, he's okay, but didn't really impress me at all. I cried when Rick Flag died in this movie.
Yeah. Yep. And I'm glad that he stayed.
King Shark!
Like,
King Shark!
Yeah.
Oh my God. Sylvester Stallone is King Shark. Perfect. Yep. Perfect.
Yeah. It was, and I love the fact that they sent all of the people that they picked in to die just to take the focus away from the actual squad that was supposed to do the thing on the other side. Like, and you got a Tamaran, like you have Starfire's cousin, whatever the fuck, like you have someone, like you have this, like, you know, ultimate battle fucking warrior from a different planet. She gets her fucking arm blown off. She gets chopped up by a helicopter. It's chaos. In the first fucking 5 minutes of that movie is chaos. I don't know. I think it was great flick, but the other ones I think I liked for more reasons. So the only reason why it's 8 is because I liked other shit over that one. But otherwise, that was a fucking great flick, man.
I do think it's fun how that both of our number 1 and our number 8s are the complete opposite of each other.
Oh, that's awesome.
Then after this, we got when the balance of power shifted in the DC universe in 2022 when we got Black Adam, and this was number 11 for me. Honestly, like I don't know much about Black Adam in the comic books. Basically all I really know of him is from the 52 series. That's all I've really read of him. So I was never invested in the whole idea of Dwayne Johnson as Black Adam. I like Dwayne Johnson just fine, but this character, just based on what little I know of Black Adam, he did not seem like a good fit for Black Adam. Like
he's in like the original Marvel family books, he was just kind of the punching bag. Like he would show up and they'd be like, foiled again, and like fucking fly away and shit. It was 9 for me. And I think it's because, now I don't know if this is true, but The Rock was like, you know, I saw like a brown superhero and I was like, I can relate to this person and shit. And like, obviously he tried to switch everything around. Like Rock was going for a power seat over at DC. Yeah. He was, man. Come on, man. He made one call to Henry and almost changed everything. Everything in one shot. But I like that flick, man. I thought Dr. Fate was fucking awesome.
Dr. Fate I loved. I love Dr. Fate. Pierce Brosnan is Dr. Fate. Oh my God. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I do think that the relationship between Hawkman and Dr. Fate, they didn't create enough of that in the movie where I felt bad for their breakup of friendship at the end, obviously because one died. I thought that was a little over the top because it's like, well, they knew each other for this long time. Yeah, but your moviegoer didn't see that. So when they had this moment, it was like, I was like, it seemed like it came out of nowhere. And we know that's not the way it is. But I love the Justice Society as a whole. The Justice League's going to get on fucking, on their lunch boxes and shit like that. But we handle this shit. And Planetary is above us. They handle this shit. The Authority handles this shit. So I liked the group. I liked the young kids. I thought it was cool because it's Intergang. It's a different take on Intergang. It was in like this one area, which obviously, because he doesn't let anybody in and out of that area. I love the fucking fight scene with him and Hawkman basically throwing each other through the walls, and like Fate just keeps moving seats because he's like, just let him get it out. Just let him get it out. I liked it. It was 11 for me. It was 9 for me. It was a good flick, dude. Him in the beginning batting and catching the fucking missile, it was just awesome. It was The Rock being The Rock, man. It was The Rock being The Rock. I thought that was dope.
Also, I think this is another issue I have. I think that a lot of these movies are having is like we're introduced to all this backstory that doesn't quite fit in. Like, where did the Justice Society come from? It's like I thought Superman was supposed to be the first real superhero in this version, and then now we find out, oh no, Wonder Woman was swinging around malls in 1984. The Justice Society has apparently been a thing for a while, so it's just a lot of stuff just doesn't. And as much as I love the Suicide Squad, right? We've got Mongal there. Where the hell has Mongal come from then? Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like you have way too much going on. But again, at this point, no one gave a fuck about continuity. They said, we got these movies on the slate, put them out there. Fucking ain't nothing we can do about it. Just throw them.
But honestly, man, I've never been a big Justice Society guy. I've only recently started reading the Jeff Johns run of it. Never been a Dr. Fate guy either, but I would watch the fuck out of a Pierce Brosnan Dr. Fate series or movie or whatever.
Said the same thing. I'll tell you what, Anthony said, I think it was Anthony or someone said that eventually if this universe was going to work, the idea was the Justice Society or another Justice League was supposed to be Sasha Calle's Supergirl, Michael Keaton's Batman, Hawkman, and they were supposed to be over here. I would much rather watch that than a lot of stuff that's on the slate right now in James Gunn's universe. That would have been fucking really cool, man. Like, I just thought like an Elseworlds branch out when it was appropriate. I think that would have been really cool to do.
So after Black Adam, we got 2023, and that was Shazam: Fury of the Gods. And like you said, this was one of your favorites. In fact, you gave me a more positive impression going into this because I had kind of avoided it, and because of what everybody was saying, and I'm like, and I saw it popped up on Netflix over here, and I'm like, I'm not in any rush to see it. And after you said, no, dude, it's actually really good, I'm like, okay, well, let me bump this up now. And I watched it, and it was a lot of fun. I didn't like it as much as the first one, but this ended up being number 10 on my list. And again, not because of anything that was bad about it, just because other stuff I like more.
Yeah. I gave it a 7. Dude, this was so low. I was like, I don't want to fucking watch it. Like, the antagonists, I was like, the fuck do I care? Like, it's weird. Then I started watching it. There's so much heart in this flick. There's so much, like, this is the time you actually see the family have problems. Like, hey, man, I got to move out. I'm going to college. Like, I don't really want to do this, man. Like, they all played perfect kid parts, but kids growing up. So not only dealing with personal stuff, girlfriends, going off to college, like having these like crises of like who they are, but they're also these fucking like these superheroes. And I love the opening. I thought Helen Mirren is fucking awesome. Like Helen Mirren, like every time that like he threw her around, I was like, I wonder, because she's such a good actress. I'm like, I wonder if she let him. She's like 80 something, but she would get thrown around, I think. Like, that's how serious she is about her roles. I think Lucy Liu did great. Like, I loved, and the dome. The reason why this jumped up like 2 or 3 extra points is you can't get in there. No one else. So now, like, whoever's watching it from afar, they go, I can't fucking get in there. So I'm just hoping for the best. Even something like that helps me go, I get this. It's right here. It's contained. You also have a family of superheroes, let them take care of it. Philly didn't like them, then they like them. It just had a lot of, like, it was family heart. It was like, the unicorn is fucking amazing in this. I was like, unicorns eating Skittles and shit. And, like, they show, that was my problem with it. I wanted to see more unicorn action, man. They were scary as a motherfucker. But I liked how much beauty and message was in it, right? She's like, yeah, I'll lose my powers because I love you. And he's like, well, you're going to love me like this. Like, at first, she didn't even care about him having superpowers. She's like, I just like to hang out with this kid. And it was like, you saw a lot of, now I'm not only comfortable in who I am and my family unit, because now my family knows and we're all still in it together, but we're also in it together as this super family. So now our ties are truly together. I thought that movie was way better than people gave it credit for. It had a lot of beauty and like storytelling, and it was just a good flick, man. It was a good flick. I rewatched the fuck out of that movie. Sarah said the same thing.
No, I agree. And like, you know, also just on a note on Lucy Liu, when we were watching it, my wife was just like, how old is Lucy Liu? I'm like, and we looked up her age, and I'm just like, she is not aged since I first saw her in Ally McBeal.
Nope. I saw her in Charlie's Angels, and outside of maybe wearing different makeup, she looks exactly the fucking same.
Yeah.
Dude, she's incredible. But like, then I cared about them because then I knew that it was a family issue going on there too. So it was 2 different families who went in 2 different directions trying to fucking like solve a problem. Like, I don't know, man.
No, I liked it. Yeah, I dug it a lot.
Yeah.
And I felt too that there was more interaction between Billy and his other siblings as opposed to just Freddy. Whereas the first one, it was just like the Billy and Freddy show. Here we get a better sense of who all of them are. And I thought that was really well done. And just it was a very good movie. I mean, and again, the only reason it's number 10 is just because there's other stuff I liked more above it.
Yeah, that's right.
But then after this, we got...
My list,
sorry, go ahead.
No, I found stuff that I really liked down at the bottom, and I'm like, why? Like, it's weird. So there's a gap. There's all the shit that I liked in order of what I liked about it, and shit I just couldn't fucking stand. Like, that's really the difference. Like, 10 doesn't mean I didn't like the movie. It just meant that there's other stuff that was slightly better. That's the only reason why I was down that low. So I have a feeling you're kind of going in the same route, which is cool.
Yeah, very much so. And I that happens with my Marvel list all the time, because I'm just like, like, you know, I look at it, I'm like, how come Iron Man is so far down on my list? I love that movie. And I'm like, oh, wait. We got like Endgame and we got all this other shit above it.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, it's just like great movie. Lots of fun. And I heard from the original ending of this post-credit sequence was actually supposed to be the Justice Society coming to recruit Shazam.
Oh, well, that would make more sense.
That would have made so much more sense.
Yeah.
I think it was the whole Black Adam thing that just didn't...
I think it was that, and the fact that Peacemaker was such a hit show, but like, you couldn't even implant a fucking bomb in Shazam's head anyway. If he's in Shazam form, you'd have to do it in Billy Batson form.
Yeah.
So why the fuck would, like, if he knew what she was up to, he would never fucking, but again, that's putting Amanda Waller in, like, she's the Wall, right? She's got pockets. It's like the end of Black Adam, where it's like, what the fuck would Superman jump for her for? Like, what the fuck? So there's stuff like that, but no, the Justice Society would make more sense considering how fucking old the character is.
Yeah. So then after this, we got 2023 also. All these are in 2023, the ones we got left up. The Flash. This was number 16 for me. Like, the episode we did on it just came out. God, I fucking despise this movie. It's just so bad.
When I did it with Anthony, he started off going, I'm coming in hot. Not as hot as a baby in a microwave, and I lost my shit for like 5 minutes. This movie, outside of 5 really cool things, dude, poor Sasha Kaye carried the entire fucking marketing for this on her back, and she's getting paid back by not playing fucking Supergirl now.
Yeah.
She's playing with the figures. She's like showing up to everything. You couldn't have Ezra Miller. His jerk off ass is fucking going crazy. Fucking grooming girls are taking him across state lines. Yeah. Michael Keaton's like, whatever, man, I got to play Batman. But she took the whole thing on her back. And she was like, I had fun in this movie. And it showed because I thought she was great. I don't think it's enough Flashpoint for me for Flashpoint, though.
No. And I had said this, our episode on The Flash just came out at the time we're recording this. So I went into more depth in it there. But like, you know, Michael Keaton, perfect. I loved everything about him in this movie. He should not have been in this movie. Like, we should have gotten him in Batgirl. We should have gotten a Batman Beyond movie. But this really should have been, you know, bring back, I was thinking about this and I'm blanking on his name. The guy who played Thomas Wayne in Batman v Superman.
Yep. Yeah. The dude plays Negan.
Yeah, he plays the comedian as well. He's also the dad on Supernatural.
Yeah, that's Thomas Wayne. That's him all day, every day. That's who it should have been.
Yes.
Because that's who it fucking was. And then you get my favorite incarnation of both Batman and Joker, which is Thomas and Martha Wayne. I got a custom Martha Wayne statue made because I knew they'd never make her. I bought the Prime one of Thomas Wayne and got a fucking Martha Wayne. I got it 3D sculpted by someone. I got it fucking printed out with the resin printer. I got it professionally painted just so I had one. Wow. That's what you should have did. Yeah. Instead, for fan service, because DC realized their shit was like starting to, like, fandom was great, and then it was nothing. You bought it back because you wanted people in seats.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you weren't doing it. And the fact that it made as much money as it did, I think had more to do with Bruce as Michael Keaton, but that's all you got. Because the stain on this fucking movie for Ezra Miller was enough to make people just say, like, I'm not supporting this fucking movie.
Yeah. And like, I don't know, with everything surrounding Ezra Miller, even before you get into that, like their performances in both versions of Justice League, nobody was really raving about their performances. Why the fuck would anybody think we want double the Ezra Miller?
No. And one is worse than the other.
Yes.
They're both insufferable, but two of them, dude, they're not even funny. Like, nothing about their scenes was fucking funny. And then you take the people in the lab who in the comic were really well put together. Then you have like the one dude like picking up his leg and you see like Grundle like on the couch. I'm like, guy, like, what kind of fucking movie is this?
Yeah. And like the
dude, there was
the Eric Stoltz thing in Back to the Future. I'm like, okay, that's cute, but then you kept dragging it out, and then it's like Kevin Bacon's in Top Gun and all that. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Like, it was funny. This is the very definition of beating a horse to death.
Yeah. The CGI looked unfinished, and then the director had the gall to be like, that's what it was supposed to look like. Really? That's what it was supposed to look like?
No.
Because those babies look like something out of fucking Nightmare Fuel. And you already have babies falling out of a building. Then there's the double jeopardy of like syringes are falling on one, a brick is falling on the other. What the fuck are we doing? Like what is happening in this? And then don't even get me started about the CGI with the sand people that look like my son made it on fucking Minecraft. The fucking dude was terrible. They bastardized the Flashpoint story just to make this.
Yeah.
And Tom Cruise, this is the best fucking super. How much did they pay these people to say this?
Yeah. Because
there's no fucking way that anyone thought that was a good flick. None.
Absolutely no. And just like the choices for cameos are just so bizarre in this. I'm like, you are spoiled for richness as far as like DC cameos you could have bring in, right? You could have, I mean, Ezra Miller appeared in Crisis. You're telling me you can't get Grant Gustin won't appear in this? Like, you tell me you can't get John Wesley
They
Shipp to come
fucked him over.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. That's fucked up. They showed all these multiverse versions. You don't give my man Grant Gustin, who threw the CW with the fucking Arrow guy on his back.
Yeah.
The only show that anyone watched like that over the course of fucking whatever it was, 11 seasons.
9 years.
Jesus,
yeah.
You don't put him in? How fucking dare you?
Yeah.
Like that's what all it is, man. It's like, how dare you? Instead, you get a one note joke of Nick Cage fighting a spider, who the only people who appreciated that fucking joke are the people who saw Evening with Kevin Smith. I loved it because I thought it was great. Sarah sitting next to me, she's like, the fuck is Nick Cage doing fighting a spider? I'm like, that's what 90% of the people in the theater said, because they don't know that fucking story.
Right. I mean, like the whole Crisis did the multiverse thing so much better with their cameos. Even the one episode of Titans where Beast Boy goes in the multiverse and he talks to Grant Morrison. They did a better job in just that one scene than this whole thing was. I mean, it was cool seeing the Nick Cage thing, but it was obviously way too drawn out. I love seeing the George Clooney cameo at the end. I thought that was hilarious. But
I've heard, which may or
someone
may not be true. Apparently, someone tried to get Christian Bale, and he's like, "Fuck no." And that was it. That was I was like, but that doesn't make any sense. Batman and the Nolan verse aren't. That's not even Elseworld. Leave them the fuck alone. They're different birds altogether. You can't have any of that shit. Of course, he was going to say no. And besides, that's fan service anyway. No one gives a fuck. Like at that point, people didn't like the movie so much that they're like, "Oh, look, it's Clooney." And again, Sarah's like, "The fuck is George Clooney doing there?" I'm like, yeah. Yeah, it's not. Trust me. It's not like now. If there was a post-credit scene in a multiverse of a Marvel movie, and an older Tony Stark shows up at the end, and people would lose their shit and cry and name their kids after him. George Clooney's like, fucking cares. Like that's essentially what it was.
Yeah. I mean, again, I liked it, but I understand that point is well taken, though. And the just like the way they did the Flashpoint story, and just like, I mean, you've got this. They also set themselves up with a problem they know they couldn't solve, because you've got this Kryptonian army. You know that you can't solve them with the Flash and all, just these people alone. Right. So why are you even going down this route to begin with? Right? Why not do the Flashpoint story? Why not bring in Reverse Flash? I mean, hell, bring in Tom Cavanaugh to play the Reverse Flash as like a twist. That would be amazing.
Instead, you make it the same Barry that ran back and forth. It was the Reverse Flash anyway. You could have just did that. You could have did that. But no, dude, make Reverse Flash Grant Gustin. Put him in the fucking movie.
Oh, that would have been cool.
At least make it. You know what I'm saying? At least make it, because as soon as this thing showed up, I was like, that's going to be him. Like it's not even like a fun figure it out. It was like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. And then they did it. The two things I like about the flick were, number one, I love how S1, but like, I love how the Superman aspect of it played the same. They lock him up, or in this case, lock her up. I like the silo fight. I think the silo fight with with Batman was on par with the warehouse fight in Batman. That was great, man. That's Absolutely. Michael Keaton in this fucking element. It was awesome. And I love the fact that they finally realized, like, no, these people are going to die no matter what. Like, we can't, like, there's nothing we can do. Like, this is a moment that just has to happen. I liked that of it, but it wasn't enough to make me like this fucking movie is anything else but shit.
Yeah.
It's shit, dude. It was a terrible flick.
So again, this is number 16 for me. Where did this rank on your list?
14.
14.
Only outdone by the Justice League because it made no sense, and Wonder Woman 84 because fuck that movie. Maxwell Lord.
I mean, I went back and forth over if I wanted Wonder Woman 84 or if I wanted Flash, but because like I love the Michael Keaton stuff in it so much, and even like the Ben Affleck stuff. I thought that weird freaking armor thing aside, I love Ben Affleck in this, and
so apparently Ben Affleck was in them. Like the reason why his voice sounded different, which I heard fucking afterwards, reason why his voice sounded different and the reason why he looked different in the motorcycle scenes is because that was the stuntman. So much so that when Hot Toys put out because of course Hot Toys is money grab, right? When they put out the Batman from the Flash movie, it's not even Affleck's face. It's a completely different chin and everything. That's why I was like, babe, that's not Ben Affleck. She's like, that doesn't sound like him. I think they just forgot to overdo the voice. And they're like, fucking just leave it. Just leave it. Because at that point, it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that movie was such a mess. Like, and you know what? I know Anthony has been giving James Gunn shit about saying, like, why do you think this was the greatest? I'm like, I can kind of see James Gunn's point. Like, Zaslav's a petty bitch. He's got to say that. He's like, I'm just going to say this, and then everybody's going to forget about the movie, then I can just do work in peace.
Yeah, like, look, Gunn just got the job. He just got the job. I know it's a him and Safran thing, but WB is always in this process of fucking imploding. James Gunn to put up his slate the next day to be like, what'd you say about The Flash? You're fucking out of here. We'll continue to put out bullshit for the next 10 years. So
and I'm convinced that the only superhero movie David Zaslav has ever watched is The Dark Knight, which is why he tells everybody, say it's as good as The Dark Knight.
Yep.
But anyway, after this, we got a bit of an upswing. Like, the DCEU ended on, kind of an upswing, actually. Like, Blue Beetle.
Absolutely.
Blue Beetle was number 4 for me.
Nice, dude. Blue Beetle, it was so again, it was 11, but only because of the little aspects of stuff. And I wasn't into the Iron Man formula of it.
Oh, that's fair.
Where it was very typical of like the Ironmonger, like, and OMAC, like, I love OMAC. I didn't think that had to be OMAC. Like, I didn't like that. Like, make it something else. It didn't have to be OMAC. But I liked the flick, though. I love the family aspect in that. I love where they live and the closeness of it, and Cord is trying to take over. It's just like, it was a cool flick. Grandma with the gun at the end, she's like, you don't know what the fuck I've been involved in. I was like, it was a good, strong, it was a fucking fun flick, and I'm upset that we're not going to see what happened with the original Blue or with Cord in the future, because clearly that's either Booster Gold. I thought it was Booster Gold.
I thought it was Booster Gold as well, yeah.
Has to be, because he's like, I know where he is. He's not fucking dead. I loved like the Beetle Cave with like the old school shit in it. It was good. It was a fucking fun flick, man.
Yeah. I thought it was so much fun. And like, I've never been a Blue Beetle fan. I've never read the Jaime Reyes anything with them. I've seen him in like, Young Justice and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I don't really care. But I mean, I'm not going to say the guy's name because I know I'm going to mispronounce it. But the guy from Cobra Kai, oh my God, he's so good. Yeah. He's so good.
Oh, it's great.
Susan Sarandon basically playing Hillary Clinton was hilarious to me.
Oh God, dude! Like, she was good. Like, it was good, and I liked the little redemption arc of like the head OMAC guy. I thought that was pretty cool too. But again, it had shades of Iron Man fighting the Ironmonger, same kind of way, same bomb thing. I was just like, I could have did without that. But it's like when everyone else everyone's doing the HUD look. Well, how the fuck are you supposed to show someone in fucking armor, dude? Like, of course they're going to use that. It's smart. It's kind of like whenever we complain about Dr. Fate. Oh, he splits himself. Like, but it's magic, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, if he's got to hold someone down, he's going to split himself. Like, that's why people complain about this dumb shit. I'm like, let that go, man. Just enjoy the flip. And
as for the OMAC stuff, like, they brought in all this stuff from, like, actual history. Like, the College of the Americas or something like that.
Yep.
Like, I'm like, holy shit. A Hollywood movie is actually talking about this shit. That never happens. That never happens.
I thought it was great. Like when when he comes to court and he's like, "Oh, I have an appointment," and like the typical like white chick, okay, Jamie. I was like, first of all, she didn't even see his name to call him that with a J, and second of all, like, why you got to do that? Like, it's like no one, like that doesn't happen anymore. In terms of like people like being aware of like, oh, you know, if this is your background, I'm gonna call you this name. This is your identity. I'm gonna do this. Like, it just seemed like it was shoehorned in there. Okay, Jamie, and then she says it twice, even though he fixes her. Like that part, I was just like, that's fucking stupid. Like that's not like you didn't have to like look. You can still show the positivity of that family and the love of their culture and the love of their generations and stuff in that house. And why the house is so important. The part with the dad had me in fucking tears.
Oh God, I was about to mention that too. Yeah.
Oh my God, dude, that was tough.
Yeah.
And I'm like Anthony in that respect. I used to watch movies with dad's son stuff in it. I'm like, that's dope. Now I cry.
Yeah.
I fucking cried. Dude. That was a rough one.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. And also, you know, I'm a huge Final Fantasy VII fan. And so seeing when he generated like the cloud sword, I'm just like, yes. Oh,
the Buster sword?
Yeah. I love that.
Dude. All I wanted was 2 pieces of materia. They didn't have to do anything. I just wanted those, and that would have been good. That was awesome.
Oh man. But yeah, so that was number 4 for me. And then we got the last one, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, which this was number 9 on my list. Like it was
for me, it was 10.
Yeah,
it was 10, dude. It was so good. It jumped up like 7 spots pretty much instantly. It was a good flick. And unfortunately, I was talking to Sarah. I'm like, unfortunately, Amber Heard, like she does such a good Mara, dude. I was like, dude, I love the casting in that flick. Even William Dafoe. Oh my God, even that. As Volkov in the beginning.
Yeah.
In the first one, dude, and they're good looking movies. They show under the sea stuff really fucking well. The
fucking really seahorse in the beginning. Oh my God, that was so damn cool.
Yep. And then the battle octopus.
Yes.
Fucking best, man. I did have 2 like stupid qualms with it. Like one is when the kid starts talking to the fish. Why the fuck was Arthur astounded by that? Bitch, you talk to fish and your wife's a fucking watermancer. That was really that shocking? He's like, that's incredible. Really? That's incredible? Him talking to fucking fish? That's incredible. But like stuff like that I let go because I really enjoyed that movie. Orm had the cool redemption arc and they didn't bring him right back in. They're like, lay low. Yeah. You're good. Just we'll say you died. Yeah. It was really good, man. It was a good flick.
Nicole Kidman too. I loved her in both. I didn't mention her when we talked about the first one, but yeah, I loved her in both of these too.
Yep. I thought it was going to be more trench, like the actual, because I thought like as soon as they started digging really deep. But I like how it was because we saw that flashback in the first one, right, where they talk about the one big fight between the 2 sides.
Yeah,
so the fact that it was the Lost Kingdom, I was like, that's really cool. And of course, it'd be bad. City's called Necros. The fuck did you expect? It's a little on the nose, right? But dude, we just watched it. Actually, that was the last flick I had to watch. We finished it a half hour before I did this fucking podcast. I'm glad I did, man. I'm glad I didn't wait. It was a good flick. I didn't care about seeing it. When I saw it, I'm like, I'm really glad I did because it was enjoyable as shit.
Same here, yeah. Like I was the same way. I'm like, well, what's it matter now? But when we got to it, I'm just like, man, yeah, this is really solid. I like this a lot. So yeah. Go ahead.
However, the thing that probably lost about 3 points for it, he makes this beautiful speech at the end. This fucking incredible speech about how which they don't know he's Aquaman. He's been in the Justice League. The motherfucker's been on TV. They don't know what the fuck he is. But he's like, he makes this awesome empowered speech. And I'm Aquaman. Woo! And that's where it ends. I'm like, dude, you should have just cut that out. That speech was awesome at the end. And then they make him be a fucking idiot.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
that was my own comment.
At this point, I think it was just that, it's like, that's the last movie. Who cares? type of thing.
Yeah, he's on his way out. It doesn't matter. And then Orm is eating the burger, but then eats the roach. I thought that was pretty fucking
I love that.
It was a good flick, man.
Yeah.
It was a good flick. Like,
also, we didn't mention, but Randall Park, too. Randall Park is hilarious. I love Randall Park.
He's real life multiversing. He's in fucking in Marvel NDC. He's having the best fucking time ever, man.
Oh, yeah. All right. So that's basically so let's do a quick recap of our list. Like for me, I had number 1 was the Suicide Squad. How about you? What was your number 1 again?
Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Zack Snyder's Justice League. My number 2 was Aquaman.
2 was Wonder Woman, the original. Yeah.
My number 3 was Wonder Woman.
My 3 was BVS.
Okay. And my number 4 was Blue Beetle.
My 4 was Man of Steel.
And my 5 was Man of Steel.
Mine was Aquaman.
Mm-hmm. And then number 6, I had Shazam.
My 6 was Harley Quinn.
Okay. 7 was Harley Quinn for me.
My 7 was Shazam 2.
Number 8 was the Snyder Cut.
My 8 was The Suicide Squad. We did the 1-8 flip.
Right, yeah. Number 9 was Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom.
My 9 was Black Adam.
Yeah. Number 10, I had Fury of the Gods.
My 10 was Aquaman 2, which honestly was probably 9.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably above. That's probably above Black Adam. Dude, the guy who played Black Manta, man, he should have got his.
Oh yeah, Yahya Abdul-Mateen, and Dr. Manhattan in the Watchmen TV show too.
Oh God, I know.
Then number 11, I had Black Adam.
My 11 was Blue Beetle.
Okay. Number 12, I had Justice League.
Mine was Shazam.
Yeah. That's 12. 13, I had BVS.
My 13 was Suicide Squad.
Yeah. 14 was Wonder Woman 84.
My 14 was The Flash because we did a 14-16 flip, I think.
Yeah. And Suicide Squad was number 15.
Mine was the Justice League.
And then The Flash was my number 16.
My 16 or my 20 or 40 because I would just put random. Dude, I put Tubi movies in front of that fucking flick was Wonder Woman 84. That was my 16.
All right. So I guess finally thing to close off on. Overall, what kind of do you think would have been would you have, so here's something. Would you have rather seen like after Man of Steel like a slow build up to stuff, or would you have rather seen like after the Snyder Cut the whole 5-movie plan that Snyder talked about?
I'm only gonna use the Marvel bar because it truly is the bar, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have a bunch of movies that establish the people with little cameo, but ones that make sense, right? You can have Wonder Woman in 1984 and have people freak out when Superman shows up in fucking 2016, right? You can't do it. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Show me the individuals. They're going to bring them all together. The only thing that people could have said at that point was Marvel did it. Okay. But in order for good storytelling, everyone has to do it.
Yeah.
So I would have liked them to pump the brakes. We would have got more of this universe for a little bit longer, I think. Mm-hmm. I think it's a little too early, even though it's a decade later. It's a little too early to wipe the slate clean, kind of, because you're still keeping like his toys, like he's keeping his people and get rid of everyone else. I don't know. I'm a big fan of that. So yes, I would have liked to see it stretched out a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I love Peacemaker and as much as I'm glad that we're going to get another season of that, you could have made that in Elseworlds. Like, you didn't have to have it as part of the new DCU. So yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. I'm thinking if you're going to be, redoing stuff anyway, bringing in people over, I mean, like, give Henry Cavill a real shot then.
Yep. He was so excited. Did you see him in them interviews, man?
Yeah.
He was like, this is it. The Kate, I'm fucking coming back. Dude, that lasted for a week.
Yeah.
And then he was like, nope. But now apparently, like, look, I don't believe anything until I actually see it.
Same here.
Apparently they're going to tag him for Captain Britain, which honestly is your best bet. But in terms of power sets, I mean, there's no laser eyes and shit like that, but you kind of have the same. But you already established Black Knight, so fucking dude, I don't care, man. I'll watch that dude in anything. I think he's really talented.
There's a new rumor, and again, I don't trust anything unless it comes stapled to an official press release. Absolutely. But there is a new rumor that he might be up for Doom, which I think would be very cool.
Yeah.
Yep. But you know what? I would love to see, like, I want to see him as James Bond. Like, did you see Man from U.N.C.L.E.?
He's the next. Yeah. He's like, but that's what I'm saying. I'll watch him in anything.
Yeah.
He's just a good actor, and he loves acting.
Yeah.
Like, he likes doing the roles. Maybe he's like The Rock. That's why, like, people were tweeting, The Rock's doing too much. So hustling. Like, getting down your grind. Now you're going to shit on him for wanting to move? Like, leave the fucking dude alone, man. Like, he's like that dude is in the record books, man. He was a fucking heel wrestler, and he talks about it all the time. $7 in his pocket, right? Mm-hmm. Now, like, look at what he's created, dude. Like, give the props where it's due. Like, stop telling people that working all the time isn't a flex if that is a flex for that person.
Yeah.
Like, don't yuck someone else's yum. You know what I'm saying? Leave him the fuck alone.
Right.
Like, trying to do his thing. Let him do his fucking thing.
Okay, so that is pretty much the final. I mean, not this podcast final works. There's still movies that we haven't done individual episodes on, but that's like, kind of a big wrap up on the DCEU as a whole. Yeah, mixed bag overall is I think what everybody can agree on.
Yeah, but I think even listening to like Anthony do it, which of course we got to give love to Anthony Desiato. Go listen to fucking Digging for Kryptonite and the 17 other podcasts that he has. He kind of did the same thing. Like his bottom 3, his bottom 4 were movies that he couldn't stand. And then it seemed like it was like, well, I really like these, but they just kind of went different. And I love the fact that we did the same thing. Like the bottom 4 was shit we just didn't like. And I was like, no, man, 10 was really good, but I like this other stuff. So when you look at it as a whole, a snapshot from the whole, even with all the inconsistencies, the movies weren't fucking bad, man. Like, they most certainly weren't as bad as everyone made them out to be.
I mean, especially when you divorce them from the source material. And, you know, I just did an episode with my buddy Stacy, and, you know, we were gotten a little bit about the Snyderverse, and I said, I'm like, you know what, I actually kind of, and I'm like, you separate them out. Like, obviously BVS I still got massive problems with, but, you know, Man of Steel, Snyder Cut, separated from their source material, they're good movies. Yep.
But I guess we'll see what happens with the new run, right? I mean, you got a bunch of shit that like he's taking a chance on, man. Like The Authority. Yeah, I'd rather it be Planetary. I think Planetary is a cooler look for like this crazy overworldly, like we watch over all this other shit. But I'm a really big fan of Creature Commando. I love Doug Mankey. Like that's my dude. We talk about lifting and shit. He put me in a comic, which was fucking great.
Oh, nice.
In issue 1 of Swamp Thing Green Hell, I'm one of the guys fighting. He's got my Hunter Thompson sleeve. He put my son's name across the back of the guy's vest. It was really cool. Guys, he's awesome. But I'm also excited for stuff like the Amanda Waller stuff, because I know she's a big player. Batman and Robin, I don't want it to be Damian Wayne, but I know it's fucking gonna be, because otherwise you'd have to tell a much different story. Brave and the Bold, the Green Lantern fucking TV show. I'm in. I just want it to make sense. Yeah. That was the only thing I ever wanted from the beginning. Just make it make sense and give me another Birds of Prey movie, man, because that shit was fun.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone's going to come over, like, who stays on, I really hope it's Margot Robbie. Like, I mean,
I think she is. I think he's keeping her, yeah.
Okay, good. I hope so.
Well, like, look, even if you don't, whatever. Like, again, it's like I said at the beginning, like, we got it. We wanted it when we were fucking growing up. We got a cinematic universe for everything now. Just, you know, appreciate what we got. If you wanted to change, all right, talk about that. But, dude, in order for that to be your hate thing every time you wake up, man, you need to chill out. You got to take a pill or something, man. You got to relax. Got to get a hobby.
All right. Well, I think that's a good note to end on then. And Justin, this has been a lot of fun. And see, we can talk about this stuff. We can disagree about these movies, and we don't have to fight each other over it.
That's right. That is correct.
But anyway, why don't you tell people where they can find you?
At Real Life Lobo on Instagram. It's really just pictures of me and my son and my dog and my wife clowning around. Some cosplay stuff in there. And I'm on Not So Secret Dad's Business with my friend Nate. That's my weekly show. Go check out fucking that. It's just literally dads talking about dad shit and cursing a lot and, you know, complaining about TikTok and shit, because that's like the poison. Otherwise, man, enjoy whatever. Like, go get fucking enjoy stuff. Like, I know we talked about it in the beginning, man. Look, I know you got all these ideas for scripts in your head, guys, and I know fucking Star Wars might not go in a direction, but like I said, you either have it or you have nothing. At least we got it right now. We could talk about it. Just be nice to each other. Be civil to each other, man. You can not like stuff, and you can still have a conversation about it, and carry on the rest of your day without being a dick.
Right.
That's really it.
Okay, yeah, well said. As for us, we are superherocinephiles.com and Super Cinema Pod on Instagram, Blue Sky, and Threads, so be sure to check us out there. And that does it for this episode. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll talk to you next time. Thanks for listening to the Superhero Cinephiles podcast. Superhero Cinephiles is produced by me, Percival Constantine, with the support of Zencastr. The show is created by myself and the late great Derek Ferguson, our host emeritus. Visit us on the web at superherocinephiles.com to listen to past episodes or find out how you can be a guest yourself. Support the show by visiting our advertiser links or click the Buy Me a Coffee link on the website to make a one-time donation. You can also support us by visiting crowdfunder.com/paragonscomic. That's crowdfunder with no e.com/paragonscomic, and help support my superhero comic book, Paragons of Earth. We are Super Cinema Pod on both Instagram and Blue Sky, so please be sure to follow us. We'd also appreciate if you could rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts and share us with your friends.
Thank you for listening. And as always, good night, good evening. God bless.